Hello, everyone, and welcome to another. Oop, gotta add that theme music in. There we go. Welcome to another DCU Daily. We are here to talk about all types of news and wonderful things today. Dan is going to be coming in a little bit later, but for right now, you're just stuck with little old me. So we're going to be reacting to some trailers. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man news, all different kinds of Spider-Man. We're going to be talking TV news, Netflix news in regards to Alien Earth and K-pop Demon Hunters, Harry Potter, as well as tons of quick hits, and of course, getting into the DC news proper, but all of that and more. In addition to, after the show, we are going to be doing Tier List Tuesdays, although probably when Tier List Tuesday starts, it's going to be Tier List Wednesday. Ugh, that's our bad, but you know, we play them like we see them. So why don't we since it is from the start, why don't we get a little blessed in here? Why don't we get a little blessed and officially well, not a little bit blessed, but Knuff, maybe? We're gonna be blessed from the start, but we're gonna be Knuff. I'm filibustering. I'm a little nervous, but let's get into this before I make a true butthead of myself. Let's get into the show.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always the number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
Robert
You're
Downey.
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the.
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Welcome back. And I forgot to change the banner. That's my bad. Anyway, I'm tired. It's late. But welcome to the show, everybody. Enterprising and Steven Ortega in the chat. I was eating jelly beans before, but my stomach started to hurt, so I'm gonna stop that for now. But okay. I did turn off the music. I was like, what? Hold on. But anyway, let's get into the news. As I said, we are going to be reacting to some trailers. And our first one is for the upcoming Spike Lee joint, as he loves to call them, with Highest to Lowest, which stars Denzel Washington and A$AP Rocky in the remake to the famed Akira Kurosawa film High and Low. And you know, it's same sort of deal. The original was a businessman's son gets kidnapped and he has to one up the attacker, one up the kidnapper to eventually get his son back. But the way that Akira Kurosawa did it was very intriguing. I have yet to see it, but I do own High and Low. And Dan is going to be coming in a little bit later. He's finishing up something, so you're just stuck with me for a while. Maybe I can get through the show very quickly, but we will see. But yeah, I watched this trailer. The first teaser didn't really impress me all that much. Also, hello, Patrick Olinger and Enterprising in the chat. Lovely to see you, all three of you, and as well as the 5 others watching that are not commenting. That's okay. Also, hello, Elite Easy E. He or she is our designated honka-honkaist because Caleb has abandoned us in our time of need. When Oh So Curious needed him most, he vanished. So I watched this trailer. I saw the teaser, was not very impressed by it. I watched the trailer for this, and I've got to say, Elite Easy saying this is a home run, but this for me is a fucking ground out. This trailer just looked atrociously bad. Like, it looked so cheaply made. The fucking dialogue makes me want to put a gun in my mouth. It is genuinely very bad. Also, hello, Jordan, and hello, Movie Spud. Lovely to see you both. But this was a miss for me. I like Spike Lee films. I Black Klansman. I still feel that was deserving of Best Picture over Green Book. And then Do the Right Thing is phenomenal. Malcolm X was great. Like, Spike Lee and Denzel Washington should be a home run, but this was bad. The dialogue, it just feels like it's just trying way too hard to like be like hip and modern, and it just fails like just badly. Um and yeah, I wasn't really feeling this one. I was not feeling this one, considering from what friends and what I've seen other people have said about Spike Lee's previous remake efforts. This might be a third strike and you're out moment. I've heard nothing but terrible things about Old Boy, and a buddy of mine said The Sweet Blood of Jesus, or whatever the hell that was called, was also not very good, which was a remake of Ganja and Hess. Um, so also hello, emo nerd girl. Lovely to see you. I agree, Enterprising. I hope the movie is better in context. I just have no um I have no drive to see it. This just looks kind of cringy and not very good. I mean, Spike Lee has had bad movies in the past. That's, everyone, even the greatest of the greats, all get a terrible movie every once in a while. Look at Jenny Tartakovsky. He's gonna finally make his first bad movie with Fixed. So, but yeah, this was not really in it for me. I did not care for it. If people like it, that's fine. I mean, A24 is usually has a pretty good streak, but this looks kind of weak in my eyes. But before we, really, let's move on to better things. And that's the next Brendan Fraser film. It's definitely a strange one. It's coming from the director of Beef, the Steven Yeun film TV show. I forget if it was a film or a TV show. But it's a vampire movie. It's like a very strange, very different vampire movie. Very well, what it's based. I've seen the original Ganja and Hess. I did not expect to like it that much. Turns out it was very good. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Supervash. Yeah, like, I've heard nothing but amazing things about Old Boy. I know I have not seen it, but it's on the list, and it's considered one of the greatest like Korean films of all time. So, and I've heard the Spike Lee version is very, very bad. So, you know, Rental Family, on the other hand, let's move on from Spike Lee for a bit. Rental Family is, as I said, it comes from the director of Beef, and it is about, it kind of has a bit of a Lost in Translation kind of vibe, where Rental Family is essentially, I don't know what that is, easy, but Rental Family is this actor, white actor who lives in Japan, it looks like, and he's hired as like this guy that helps lonely people. Like, he's hired as someone to help someone through like a tough time, like, and pretend to be their brother, their husband, their father, their whatever. So it's essentially this guy trying to help people, and he's designated to this family, and he is supposed to be a father to this girl and a husband to this woman. And it's essentially, yeah, I kind of agree, enterprising. It feels like an early 2000s feel good indie film story. Again, Lost in Translation definitely had that vibe. So, you know, but yeah, this was definitely, I don't know. Again, I don't know if I would see it, but it definitely seems kind of like an interesting little movie, and I do love Brendan Fraser a lot. We're currently going through the Renaissance right now, so gotta love that. And honestly, this looks cute. This looks quirky. I don't know any of the other actors in it, unfortunately. So it's Takehiro Hira is in it. Mari Yamamoto and Akira Imoto are also set to star in the film. So yeah, this is definitely a very like quirky, cute indie kind of movie. Um, yes, I agree. It's good. Brendan Fraser is having a good comeback, and I thought he was great in The Mummy. The movie itself was kind of mid, but I thought he was good in it. But yeah, well, I mean, Mummy 3, I've heard that was bad. I heard Mummy Returns was also not very good either, but but yeah, I think this is a cute little movie, and if like maybe on a Tuesday or a Thursday when everything is half off, I would go and see it. But in this case, I think I'll just again, this is kind of a wait till streaming kind of thing. But yeah, Rental Family, it looks very cute. Next one we have is apparently George Clooney and Adam Sandler team up in first trailer for Noah Baumbach's Jay Kelly. Now, there is a trailer, we just don't have it. But it's a film is about George Clooney's character, a giant movie star, and Adam Sandler is his agent. And so, I don't it says here that I tried to find the trailer, but I couldn't find it. But it definitely has an interesting cast. I'm not a huge Noah Baumbach fan. I did not like Marriage Story, and I felt that and then watched a couple other movies from him, and I just haven't really been into them. I don't think I'd watch this one. The only reason I would maybe is because I do like Adam Sandler in more serious roles than his non-serious roles. So, you know, I think this could be a interesting thing. We only have a teaser. So, I mean, if he didn't get nominated for Uncut Gems, it's unlikely he'll win anything because the Academy straight up admitted that they did not nominate him because of his past comedy roles. So, they're I don't know. We only got a little teaser. It could be really bad for all we know. But I mean, I hope it isn't. But it looks like a certainly a interesting little movie. But the next thing we have is apparently Invasion season 3. I don't even know this existed. I know there's like 15 million TV shows that are called Invasion, like that are a reference to fucking like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and stuff like that. um but this is by Simon Kinberg, which is not great because Simon Kinberg kind of sucks. I mean, he did give us Days of Future Past, so there is that. um but it seems like this might be the final season. um but yeah, it's just like typical alien invader stuff. Season 3, if you watch the show, then no, I already said I didn't really care for it. Yeah, it is. It very much is. It's very stupid, but because it's like award them based on what they deserve. It's ridiculous, but that's the Academy for you. But yeah, if you guys are excited for Invasion, then watch this. I didn't really know this existed, but if people enjoy it, cool. If they don't, then whatever. Anyway, next up is the first bit of Spider-Man news. Apparently, Spider-Punk is going to get his own animated feature from Daniel Kaluuya and Arjun Singh, and it's in development currently. And hey guys, I just want to say this. Before you start green lighting spin-offs, can you finish Beyond the Spider-Verse first, please? Can we like finish that movie before you start greenlighting other shit? We want you to finish this. This has been like, it was supposed to be back to back. It was supposed to be filmed back to back, and we didn't get that. And now we've been waiting an extra 4 years for this fucking movie. And then now you're greenlighting other crap. It's like, all right, can we just like finish that first, and then we'll get this. In terms of like outside of that aspect, I didn't really care for Spider-Punk. Like I found that he was kind of annoying and really stupid, but I know a lot of people liked him because he was like, I'm too cool for school. I'm cool, bro. You know, I know people enjoy that shit. I like Daniel Kaluuya. I think he's a great actor, but this was I hope it's not a weak cash grab spinoff. Maybe I'll watch it. Maybe his character improves, because I found it to be really fucking annoying across the Spider-Verse. So yeah. But could be an interesting little project. But next up is still Spider-Man news. Apparently, there are big plans for Scorpion beyond Spider-Man Brand New Day. So is Mr. Negative. So in regards to Michael Mando returning as Scorpion, this is scooper news, so it's probably bullshit, but we'll see. The plan is for Scorpion to eventually factor into Spider-Man 5 as well. That's all we have to go on right now, but this lends some weight to the theories that after Gargan is defeated, he'll bond with the Venom symbiote, essentially taking Eddie Brock's place in the MCU. Now, the only so they also shared that the Punisher was chasing Scorpion and Spider-Man was trying to stop him from killing his target. Yeah, that sounds about right. The Punisher is a bit like the Winter Soldier in Brand New Day. But back to the movie's possible big bad and the Cosmic Circus' Alex Perez, who has weighed in on who isn't, despite speculations to the contrary. He's claiming either the logo is going to be CGI'd out, kind of like what it was for Dark Knight Rises when they had Bruce Wayne where they had Maureen Cotillard's like alter ego on the tombstone, and then they CGI'd it with Bruce Wayne so that they weren't teasing that Batman dies in this movie. And then there's also the fact that or it could just be a demonic face that's just kind of similar to the Inner Demon logo. Now, this is all coming from scoopers, so 9 times out of 10 it's probably bullshit. However, still an interesting thing to think about if this is true. Also, hello Dan, how are you doing on this wonderful night as we midnight?
No, thank you. I'm here. Hello, I'm doing good. Sorry to just barge in like that, but
no, you're good.
Just was
show, man.
Yeah, I was just tied. I was tied up with a few things, but wanted to make sure I wasn't the one holding up the show any longer. No, I saw this. I don't know, John. We talked about this yesterday, and it seems like there's more fuel to the fire today. The rumors, still a rumor, but I don't know. Do you believe it? I didn't catch all of what you were saying, but
so essentially, what My Time to Shine is saying here that Matt Gargan is going as Scorpion is going to appear in Spider-Man 5 in addition to Brand New Day, and that kind of going off of what we were talking about yesterday is that he's going to bond to the symbiote because of that one fucking image he posted of Matt Gargan and the Venom symbiote, and it's like, all right, sure. As well as the fact that Mr. Negative and the Inner Demons are not in the movie, despite speculation in regards to that being the case.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a bit too far-fetched, right? So I don't know. I mean, I read the quote earlier. I don't buy it. It still feels like, because James Gunn followed Ariana on social media, she's the new Wonder Woman. Like it's a step too far right now. So anyway, I think we're on the same page. By the way, guys, a lot of you watching, not as many likes. If you do get a shot, or if you get a chance, there's a little thumbs up. please do hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate it. A lot of you guys in the chat right now. We had emo nerd girl earlier in the chat. I don't know if you're still watching. Elite Easy, Patrick. I know, John, you've been talking to everybody, so hope you guys are having a nice evening. We have Tier List Tuesday coming up right after. Even though, well, I guess it will still be Tuesday on the West Coast. So, but yeah, we'll get into it. So, yeah, all right. Well, let's keep going. We got a couple more Marvel things, I believe, right?
Yep.
So
yes. We do have set photos in regards to the Punisher, as well as Fantastic Four news, and a lot of set footage coming from Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Let's go in the order that they talk about here. I think I don't know what they put up first. I think the Punisher stuff is first in the article. No, the Spider-Man stuff. Okay,
of course, Spider-Man stuff is first.
Dude, they have this whole rig. I was surprised they built a rig that allows. I'm sure that's a stuntman and not Tom Holland. And I don't know, like could be, but he's on wires. They actually got a little cart in the background that's dragging along with the explosions, the pyro.
Kind of see it here, kind of, sort of, not really. But hold on, let me. So you see that
the webbing,
the latch is to that thing I was talking about. How the web shooter might not just be a web shooter, but it might be a latch for the cables on this rig. I was saying that yesterday. People didn't believe me, but I'm like, we kind of see it here that might be the case, where it's the web shooters that everyone was making fun of might be latches for the rig, so that it looks like he actually is like swinging and stuff like that. So
you know what though, saying. Like it could be a double, like it could serve two purposes. It's like having in a scene you have lighting that's part of the actual shot. Like, there's a lamp in the shot and it actually is on and it's throwing some fill light onto the face of an actor. But it's aesthetically part of the production design of the movie, but also it's an actual light too. I mean, so I'm just saying this could be one of those situations where it's both. Obviously it does give the actor or the stuntman something to yank onto physically, because physics. You're gonna make it look like you're swinging off something, have a string there at least. So, and what's kind of clever though, I mean, I was like, this is how far we've come, right? Because I don't believe for like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man that ever did anything like that. They just CGI'd those shots, and even this feels like this is pretty low to the ground. A lot of the stuff that's higher up is going to be probably CGI, because I mean, unlike Superman where hands up and like you have back straight, with Spider-Man it's kind of hard to shoot that stuff even on a rig in front of a blue screen. But this was nice. I mean, they're doing these pyros. There's a little cart that drags behind the tank cart with pyros. Here I think he's just standing on a car following, like, I imagine the tank. And then I think they probably already yelled cut there, so they just keep driving. The reverse drive, reverse, take 20. It's fun. You know what it is about this kind of stuff though, John? Having done some stunt work on a street that I once upon a time blocked off, which was kind of fun because you always gather a crowd. It was a little street in New London, and then people come out their house, and then we were hitting a dude with the car. So people were like, "Oh my god!" Like, and then even the cop. Like,
guys, don't have spicy bean burritos at Taco Bell. Woof. That's exactly what happens to your toilet.
That's a meme. That's a cool meme. But I bet the shot looks fantastic. And they got it practically. So, can you imagine the mind fuck of like you walk into Glasgow and all of a sudden you see like in New York like city transit buses driving by, and then there goes Spider-Man.
Why are they filming in Scotland?
Well, they're filming in Glasgow especially because I guess there's parts of the city that are good stand-ins for New York in terms of the architecture. Because remember, Batgirl, they also use it as stand-in for Gotham, which is practically New York City in the comic.
I mean, that's what the Batman did. They filmed in Scotland.
Yeah.
And
but the other reason is it's like they have really they have really good tax credits. And right now, I mean, especially for Marvel, they've moved pretty much all their production down to the UK. Like all the Avengers movies obviously are filming in Pinewood outside of London. So I guess it makes sense. New York City buses in Glasgow, it's a bit of a it's a situation that you would not expect. Because can you imagine you walking by one of the adjacent streets, you see a New York City bus zoom by and this next street over, and then there goes the rig with Spider-Man swinging. My favorite version of the suit of the web shooters has to be the Tobey Maguire one. it comes out of his body.
There weren't any web shooters.
Exactly, the favorite version. I'm like, I'm one of those people because I just, I grew up on those movies, so I'm like, obviously, I have my because to me, quite frankly, being young enough at the time that I didn't know any better, I thought that's how it always was. So when they had web shooters for Andrew Garfield and every other iteration we've had since, I was like, huh. It was Tobey Maguire that was the exception, like it took me a little because obviously I didn't grow up like
out of your body.
Yeah, that comes out of your body. I'm like, yeah. Maybe Tom Holland will put a kilt on at some point. Maybe when they wrap in Scotland because they're only filming there for like a couple of weeks, I believe, right? So the other thing I was going to mention quickly, like the shot like this where he's literally on top of a car as it drives, I'm guessing behind the tank. These kind of shots, they will probably film like 10, 15 times, however many times it takes to get the shot. They probably have multiple cameras in the car that's, the camera car that's in front of this car. And you're probably going to see that shot for a second or two in the movie. Like where, he looks up and his eyes grow big and that's it, as he's on a chase. But like shooting it takes them probably half a day to do just that one part of a stunt. So that's the process of filmmaking. That's why it takes these movies like 2, 3, 4 up to like 5, 6 months to film movies of this scale. I mean, generally not 6 months, that's unless you're doing like a huge Avengers movie. But it's you might be that's in the script probably just 1/8 of a page that they're filming for half a day. That's what big budget filmmaking looks like. So the logistics of it all blow my mind. I mean, and having done a couple of things at a much smaller scale, even it's the process. It's the process. Pinewood is actually not where they shot a lot. I mean, they did shoot some of it, but a lot of it was shot at Leavesden Studios. Most of it was Leavesden. Leavesden is also in the UK, outside of London. It's where Warner Brothers owns Leavesden Studios. So they're actually doing a huge expansion right now, adding a lot of sound stages. So James Bond, yes, there's a very famous soundstage on the Pinewood lot that was specifically like known for James Bond movies. A lot of the big, and even today, I think they will probably go back and do stuff there for Amazon MGM as well. And Marvel is shooting most of their movies at Pinewood. So Harry Potter did a little bit in Pinewood, most of it at Leavesden. Those are the two big ones. But anyway, John, I think this was great. I mean, we're gonna probably see a ton more of this, probably for the next week or so, and then wherever they go next. So I'm surprised that Tom Holland is not as jacked up as he was for the Odyssey. Goes to show you he either lost all that weight and that like that muscle mass, or it's been that long since he finished the Odyssey. That's what I was surprised about the other day. I was like, I thought he bulked up more than that for the Odyssey, but who knows? Whatever.
But next thing we have is Fantastic Four First Steps crossing the $200 million mark.
Yep.
Which is beating the Captain America Brave New World entire run in 2 weeks. Remember, guys, Fantastic Four is failing.
This is the domestic box office, right? This is not worldwide. Worldwide is actually getting close to, well, not close to, but it's definitely in the range for 400 million, if I'm correct. Let me see if I can go back and find it. I was looking this up the other day. I actually had the comparison chart up where I was comparing all 4 movies, and Fantastic, 367. So 371.95. So it's basically at 372 now, which, by the way, Fantastic Four First Steps with 372 million has now made more than the original Fantastic Four from the early 2000s, more than the sequel, which didn't even make 300 million, and then certainly the one for 2015, which only made 167.8. So it's outgrossed every other Fantastic Four movie that's come before it, almost combining the totals of the 2015 Fantastic Four and the 2007 Silver Surfer sequel to the original one from 2005. So yeah, it's doing great. I mean, it's obviously, people would want it to do $1 billion, but like that's a bit of a misnomer these days. I don't think the definition of a successful movie needs to be $1 billion. It's going to be profitable. So, yeah. But John, you saw this clip, right? What did you think? They actually show you the Julia.
I mean, I saw the fucking movie. I don't really need to see the clip.
Well, I'm just saying, right? But like, this is the first time, like in the public eye, like on the internet, they've put out the clip of Julia Garner without the Silver Surfer skin, I guess you call it, on her. So that was nice.
Nice. It looked. It was very, very cool. I still don't like the slicked back hair. It still looks weird to me.
I don't know. Hey, Johnny seems to think it's a sexy alien. I mean, who knows? Man, I bet you.
Well, I think what made it weird for me is that in the flashback, she had like weird slicked back hair. Like it didn't. Like I understand she's supposed to be like an alien to us, but like it just looked weird to me. So
Exactly,
it'd be how
ladies.
it'd be.
Yeah, I bet you they're gonna pull on that thread later. The whole Silver Surfer, Human Torch, budding romance, if you want to call it that.
I hope
You
not.
know, I'm just saying they set it up. They're gonna revisit it. I don't know if the Silver Surfer is gonna come back for any of the Avengers movies. That's probably the question to ask. As far as the whole drop, 80% drop for Fantastic Four the whole week instead of just Friday to Friday. Yeah, I mean it's okay. I haven't done the math. I haven't looked at it. Quite frankly, on let me pull it up right now if I can, Anthony. But like week to week numbers. Okay. Oh, okay. This is where that number's coming from. I'm gonna see if I can quickly switch to my screen, John. We can then go back to talking about Punisher, but this is what they were talking about. Let me quickly go here for a moment. So, Anthony, you're talking about this number here, 80%. 80% drop from its first full week in release to the next, which I mean, honestly, I think people don't care as much about that number. That's just like semantics. It's more usually that you talk about the weekend to weekend numbers. If you look at this first midweek, it was doing quite well. 10 million, 14 million, almost 9 million, 7.5 million. But you can tell, like, for example, if you want to compare this to Superman, I'm going to close this list here because that's got some personal stuff in it. Superman's box office, just quickly for comparison's sake, its first week had no single digit midweek numbers. The lowest it did was 10.9 million. And then the second Monday for Superman was the first time it did a single digits. Then the Tuesday somehow bumped up to 10 million, and then it went down to 6 and then 4.7. So if you compare that to Fantastic Four right here, you could see even by its first Thursday and Friday, it had dropped into single digit millions. So, and then 4.5 million on its second Monday, which versus Superman, I wish I could put these side by side. Superman is a second Monday at 6.9. So yes, that's clearly a bigger drop. And that figures into the fact that we were talking about yesterday, 66% second weekend drop. It makes sense. Like it's logical that it's not doing as well on the weekend. It won't do as well during the week. So, and we talked about all the reasons why yesterday. But John, let's talk about the Punisher, shall we?
Yeah. So apparently, images of him leaked, I guess, onto the net, and it's your boy, right? Hang on, in a fade and a beard.
I'm just glad they gave him his original logo, and they're not shying away from it. They're like reclaiming, like this logo belongs to the Punisher and not any kind of political ideology that wants to just.
To be fair, it does look like the slightest bit different. Like it's like kind of slightly tweaked,
slightly,
but like it's still that same kind of.
But it feels more like slightly different in the sense that the Man of Steel suit looked different from the Batman v Superman suit, right? Like the S is the same, the colors and how shiny it is and how the fit was slightly different. I think is that a good comparison, do you think, or is it there's more of a difference there?
Yeah, I think it's like, but the thing is, remember the Ray Stevenson version, his skull was very different from the original Punisher skull. So it's, and hell, fucking Dolph Lundgren didn't even have a skull. So
well, I mean but those don't have any continuity here. I think using the same thing that they use in the Netflix show here shows that obviously this is the same Punisher. Another reason why you're like, oh, if you doubted the fact that the Netflix stuff is now canon, there's one more reason telling you that it is. And it looks cool, man. It's I like the suit. Are there any other photos? That's kind of it so far? Looks like I do like the beard. I mean, John Bernthal, the nice fade on the side, the beard. I mean, he's looking pretty badass. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah,
some more rated R Punisher, looking awesome. Like Enterprising said, suit looks good, Patrick. I did want to quickly address. We will talk about James Gunn's birthday. Happy birthday, James Gunn! So don't you guys worry. We'll get into that later in the show. And as far as Enterprising mentioning the whole superhero fatigue thing and hyperbolically saying the genre is dead, with regard to Fantastic Four's box office, I don't think that's a problem. I mean, honestly, if the movie cratered at 300 million, that would be a problem. I think it's a reflection more of the fact that Fantastic Four, just as a set of characters, they just don't have the same recognizability yet. But kind of like what we were saying, John, with Superman, right? If this Superman movie makes 600 million, let's say that's where it tops out, the next one could make up to $1 billion if it's just as good, because now people will have an expectation. Like the Batman made over 700 million. The next one can easily make $1 billion if it's as good, if not better than the first one. So I can easily imagine if they were to do, I don't know, Fantastic Four second steps or whatever you want to call the next one, that one will probably, if it could probably go up. Like if this finishes at 550, the next one can go 750, maybe even $1 billion. I mean, just as we were talking about Spider-Man a moment ago, John, right? So Spider-Man Homecoming, I believe, made like 700, 800 million. And then the Far From Home made $1 billion. And then No Way Home made almost 2 billion, like 1.9. So you can see, I mean, and John Wick is another example of a franchise where each movie, if they're good, the money keeps going up. So I think that's ultimately more reflective of where the franchise is. I don't think the superhero genre is dead yet. It's not played out like the Westerns. I mean, and James Gunn and Kevin Feige all recognize.
And the
that
thing
you
is,
have
they're
to
so much more
experiment.
versatile than a Western. A Western,
Yeah,
there's only
exactly.
so many things you can like make a movie about. Sure, you can make a movie about a lot of things that take place in the West. Very versatile time, but there's
Right.
only so many, so much of that you can really do before it gets repetitive. Meanwhile, there's like fucking almost 100 years of history in regards to hundreds upon thousands of characters you can choose from. The superhero genre is not going to stay dead. It's just they need to realize that those hundreds of thousands of characters are all different in various ways, and they need to play on their strengths of their uniqueness rather than doing the same thing over and over again and us becoming burnt out by it. So
You're completely right. And James Gunn addressed that. He's like, we need to
we
get back to
need to fucking write
creating original
like
stuff. Yeah.
we need to fucking actually write the scripts before we start filming. I know, fucking crazy thought.
I mean, even Kevin Feige said this. They both said it differently, but you can tell James Gunn and Kevin Feige have the same thing in mind, where like it's kind of like with the neo western, right? Like that's another riff on a traditional western movie. Westerns are back in vogue, but not for the reason that we're watching a John Wayne movie in 2025 or a Clint Eastwood movie. I mean, Clint Eastwood's still making movies, unless he's actually means he's retired for sure. But what they did is they took a western and they said, okay, we're gonna not just give you a basic ass formulaic western. We're gonna try to like mash it up with other genres or do other things with it. Maybe like a western crime drama. Like there's other subgenres you can get into and do genre mashups. Weapons, excuse me, Weapons coming out in just a couple of days from now. That movie feels like a genre bender. We talked about that last week. So I think James Gunn and Kevin Feige have both said it in their own ways that they're gonna try to get back to doing that. Like The Winter Soldier was a 70s spy drama kind of a thing, right? And or I'm trying to think like Captain America. The first Captain America was like more of like a time. It was a period piece, and Thor kind of felt like a combination of an alien invasion slash superhero movie kind of a thing. I mean, there's the Guardians of the Galaxy space adventure, basically Star Wars and the Marvel universe. So that's kind of what they need to get back to doing. What we don't need, and I'm sorry to use Blue Beetle as an example, is a formulaic origin story. And that's why I really love the fact that James Gunn is a hater of origin story. I mean, he's not going to not do an origin story for every superhero, but he's like, look, we don't need an origin story for Spider-Man. We don't need an origin story for Batman. We don't need it for Superman. People know these guys and they know these characters. Unless you're changing something significantly, we don't need that. And I think Kevin Feige also recognizes it. So that's really, I think, where we're headed moving forward. So yeah, I mean, Yellowstone is more of a traditional Western, but it's also television. So on television, it's different than movies, right? So yeah, I mean, spaghetti westerns back in the day, Patrick. We've talked about it quite a bit. John is a huge fan of all those Clint Eastwood movies. What was the name of the franchise? The Dirty Harry franchise, was it?
Dirty Harry. Well, Dirty Harry is Clint Eastwood, but that's
We're
crime
talking.
crime films. We're talking about the
Oh,
Good, the
Dirty
Bad,
Harry.
the
No,
Ugly,
I'm confusing
the
them. We're talking
Dollars
about Big Bad
trilogy,
and
or
the
Man with No
Dollars
Name
trilogy.
trilogy.
Yes, I always confuse those two in my head for whatever stupid reason. But anyway, yeah, no, exactly. Not having to do homework because they're gonna be creating that separation now with Disney Plus shows will not directly connect in most instances to the movies, even though they're all in the same universe. You'll see the Punisher pop up in Spider-Man, obviously, but it doesn't mean that you need to watch the Punisher Disney Plus special to understand Brand New Day. And by the way, Marco's there. Hello, Marco. How are you doing today? Marco Ramos, all the way from Portugal. Easy saying Superman in the fetal position and being reborn with the sunlight was enough of an origin. Yeah, no, exactly, man. That's all you need. That's all you need. Man with No Name is a great movie, Frankie. John, I believe once we get past Secret Wars and they reintroduce Thor specifically, I think he's going to be already gone through his ruin king and god King Thor phase and is already the king of Asgard. I don't even know if they're going to reintroduce him, man. I don't think for all the talking that he does, I don't think Chris Hemsworth is going anywhere. Like, watch in the next year or two, we're going to find out he's going to sign a new 5-movie deal or something. But anyway, I think we're ready to move on to the next thing, John. What do we got? Where are we? We are moving into Alien Earth, I believe.
Yes, I just need to open it real quick. I don't know. Hang on. While you were going filibustering, I was like, let me just open up some shit. So yeah.
Well, how about let me take over the Alien Earth one, then we can switch back over and talk about.
Yep, I got it. We're good.
Okay, cool. All right. Alien Earth. John, I know you are a big fan of this show, and it's not even come out yet, but the reviews are out. I think we have a Rotten Tomatoes score as well. I'm gonna see if I can find that. But the reviews are glowing, dazzling even. You look at some of the responses here, like Jamie Parker from CBR saying Alien Earth is the ultimate sci-fi series for fans of Alien. Collider's Ross Boname saying it's the kind of project where you can feel the love for the franchise seeping into every frame. The Daily Beast, it's an 8-part FX series, is a devoted fan's dream come true. These are all really good reviews so far. I mean, you look at some of the other details in terms of like how does it compare to the movies and stuff. If you scroll down a little bit, they break it down, John, and so in almost every which way, like Ron Hilliard from Discussing Film managed to be a better version of the young adult-centric story Alien Romulus attempted to tell, saying basically it's better than the Alien Romulus, which I know for you is probably a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I never watched it, but it looked not that interesting, so, you know.
Yeah. I wouldn't consider Yellowstone a traditional Western. I think it's more neo-Western, but...
It is more neo. It's a neo-Western.
But hello, George. Good morning. Watching us during his breakfast. Yeah, Alien Earth looks good. Looks better than good. John, what are your thoughts on these reviews?
I'm stoked. It looks great, and I can't fucking wait for it. It's gonna be premiering in 6 days on Hulu and FX. I don't know if it's because I know they're like FX on Hulu. Yes. It's like just say it's fucking Hulu.
They got it so I don't know why they made that so confusing. I feel like they should just pick a lane. But basically, you can watch it on FX, then you can stream it on Hulu, and then now Hulu's on Disney Plus. So just basically go to Disney Plus. So you don't need both of them.
I don't think it's gonna be on Disney Plus, but it's on Hulu. I have Hulu, and that's all I care about.
No, but isn't like Hulu now part of Disney Plus? Am I wrong?
I don't fucking know. I can't.
There's a Hulu tab on Disney Plus that I can go in and watch. I think they're trying to like kind of put it all in one place. If that's I don't know if you have a Rotten Tomato. Not that Rotten Tomato scores matter as much for TV shows because
I know
not verified.
You
know what? I think it's 90%. Sitting at 90% right now.
Well, it didn't even show up for me.
No, you got to go down to the TV shows.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Boom. There it is.
90% is not bad. It doesn't tell you how many reviews.
The opposite of bad. It's very, very good.
Yeah, Hulu's on D Plus, exactly. Yeah, you can.
I don't have Disney Plus, and I have Hulu, so.
Well, I mean, potato. Speaking, we will get into more.
Well,
of that.
We'll get into that much later.
I bet you had fun reading that headline, right, John?
I was like, why the fuck is this here? What does this have to do with anything?
I will explain when we get to it. I will explain.
Yes, it's going to be premiering next Tuesday. Well, now it's Wednesday, but next Tuesday on August 12th. So. Yeah.
There's an ad-free bundle to Elite Easy. I mean, I pay for it, but you gotta pay up to it. Grace Randolph apparently really loved it, comparing it to 3 of the top tier shows on HBO. Okay, nice. All right. Well, I mean, hey, it looks like everybody's loving it. And what else can you expect? I mean, it's Noah Hawley, right? He's the one behind this.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that dude, he made Fargo
Legion. And Legion.
Yes. 2 of the best shows FX has ever put out, minus Shogun. But like, he doesn't miss. He's like on par these days with like Ronald D. Moore in terms of some of the stuff he's done in the sci-fi realm. So I am excited. I know you're excited, John. Like you said, it's days away. I can't wait to see the show. And what I like about the show is it seems like, from everything I've seen so far and read about it, if you haven't seen anything other than maybe the first 2 Alien movies, you'll still be fine. Like, you don't need to watch everything in the franchise to understand what's going on here.
Right.
So I like the barrier to entry is really low, which I do appreciate that as well. Really do appreciate it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think we're gonna do weekly reviews, right? We're gonna talk about the show every week. So John's gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. We're gonna talk about it. So you guys make sure to come join us on the weekly show, the Monday through Friday, whichever. I forget which day of the week is dropping, but whichever day of the week. Tuesday. Okay, Tuesdays. That's right there. The Tuesday nights we'll be reviewing Alien Earth once a week until we get. Is it 8 episodes total?
They said 8 episodes.
8 episodes. Yeah, there you go. Cool. All right, Alien Earth. Excited, man! It's finally here. We've been talking about it for so long. It feels like a new movie, but yeah, can't wait for it. All right, moving on to the next thing. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about it, obviously. But as far as this thing goes here, John, I don't know if you heard about this at all, but
I've been fucking inundated about this goddamn fucking movie. I cannot escape the fucking cult of K-pop demon hunters. My friends are yelling at me to watch it. Servers I'm in are yelling at me to fucking watch it.
Really
and
popular.
honestly, because of that, I refuse to watch it purely out of spite. Because whenever I get inundated or whenever I get insulted about not watching a movie or show, guess what? I'm not going to fucking watch it. So fuck your K-pop, fuck your demon hunters. I'm not watching it. So screw you.
Clearly, there's enough people watching it that K-pop Demon Hunters has now become the 4th most popular English language movie ever on Netflix. I think if you go to the next article, we have
it does. Okay, Elite Z, thank fucking Christ. I'm not the only fucking one. This movie is so ugly to look at, and I hate the dropped frame rate. It looks so bad. Like, I'm sure the movie is fantastic. I'm sure it's the greatest.
Wait, they don't have 24 frames?
Godfather. But I'm just looking at it. I'm like, this is what people are going crazy about. It's like kind of mid, like animation and kind of ugly looking. But okay, cool. Elite Z, I'm not crazy. Thank you. I love you. It's a girl. So essentially, the story of the movie is that it's a K-pop girl group who are also demon hunters, and they have to stop a boy band, a now rising popular boy band, who turns out to be demons. So it's not just like girl group versus boy band, but it's also demon hunters versus demons. So yeah. Yes. Also that enterprising. Yes. What in the hell is that?
Well, if you go to the next article, they give you the numbers. I think it's 158 million views. 4th most of all time. It's like up there now with like Red Notice and like Happy Gilmore and stuff like that. It's kind of wild to see. I mean, look, we're not the target audience, so I'm okay with like not.
This is a movie made for young girls and weebs who put action figures in jars.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's making a sequel. Speaking of which, if you keep going here with the articles. They had a nice review for it in Hollywood Reporter. They were like, it's dazzlingly animated, infectiously soundtracked. In fact, John, it's so infectiously soundtracked that it's made it onto the Billboard charts as well, which is kind of wild to hear that a Netflix animated movie of all
us Johns have to stick together.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, of course, that's fine. But now they want to do it. They want to do a series, a sequel, a live action adaptation, and a musical. It's like, well, bro, calm down.
We're getting to that. So I think the next article was about the Billboard part of it. Yeah, it's actually on a Billboard chart, John.
Yeah, I like my friends
so
are like,
popular.
Oh my God, the music is so fucking catchy.
Yeah. Step. Well, that's
love it. I love it that me and Elite Easy are just ragging on this movie.
God.
No,
I'm anime.
Here's the thing. I like a couple anime things. Like I like Studio Ghibli. I think that honestly, they don't even count as anime
Mm.
at this point. And then I like the dub of Ghost Stories because it's so fucking ridiculous. It's so funny. It's like that's what makes it entertaining. But yeah, those are the only like I'll maybe watch like a movie one. Like I saw the Demon Slayer movie in theaters because I wanted to go back to the theater and my friend invited me and I just wanted to go back to the theater so badly. So I watched this. I'm like, yeah, it was pretty good. I had no fucking clue what was going on, but I'm like, yeah,
Dude, that
yeah, it's
movie
cool.
is blowing up the Japanese box office. So.
Oh no, that was for that's
Oh, this is you're talking about.
that's for
Okay.
Infinity Castle. I'm talking about
Okay.
Midnight Train, which was a couple years ago. That was like 2020, 2021 when things were starting to become more lenient.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, look, it's rare that you see a movie on Netflix have its songs end up on a Billboard chart. And now, of course, yeah, they're working on sequels, expanded universe to include a musical. Who was it yesterday that kept saying? I think MTG was like, "I hate musicals." Where's MTG when you need him? But yeah, live action remake. I wonder, John, if they made a live action remake, like who would they even get to play these characters?
Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, and Dua Lipa. Boom. There you go. There's your movie.
There you
Because
go.
you know it's Sony. They're gonna pick like the hottest, whitest women, even though it's like a Japanese thing, and they're gonna fucking do that.
I mean, this is the
I
thing.
guarantee
I'm
you
like,
they're
do you
gonna
get
pick white
Korean
actors.
actors? Because like that's what you have here. It's K-pop. Like that would be kind of like whitewashing it.
You know, Japan,
Yeah.
Korea. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm
All
tired.
good. All
I'm
good.
tired,
I mean,
and
like,
I'm so fucking sick of talking about this fucking movie. I'm so sick of looking at it. I'm so sick of hearing about it. It was like Squid Game when that was like season 1, or it was Game of Thrones at its peak, or Breaking Bad at its peak. Don't get me wrong, I did bite the bullet and watch Breaking Bad, and yes, it is as amazing as everyone says it is. It's one of the greatest TV shows of all time. But like that's up my alley. Game of Thrones wasn't. This surely as fuck isn't. Squid Game might be, but I heard seasons 2 and 3 were dog shit. So I'm like, might as well not get into that. But all right.
John,
The allegations crop up once again.
He made a mistake. It's fine. Yeah, the Night Agent show, I do enjoy that. I'm glad it's not canceled.
That's with Gabriel Basso, right? Yeah. That's okay.
No, Night Agent. It's coming back. I think
that is
the other
true.
show,
The Spider-Man can only hold them for so long. So.
Also, by the way, the whole thing about I don't blame Sony for the stepped animation thing. You're always gonna get cheap copies of what they tried to do, because what they did in Spider-Verse movies, there was a logic behind it. They did it really well. I just don't like how, obviously now every other, I mean, not, this is Sony again, but a different part of Sony, obviously not the same team. It's always going to look bad if you try to like imitate something but do it superficially. So that's the animation techniques essentially. You got to like commit to it. That's the problem. Not every studio is doing the same thing. They're just like basically throwing I'm forgetting the terminology, but like it's like you model the characters, do all the animation, you do the rigging and stuff, but then you just the render engine that you use applies like different basically essentially it comes down to like filters and stuff. So and then you step down the animation. You're not really doing it like the way that they did it in the Spider-Verse movies. You're sort of taking shortcuts. It's like doing a post conversion into 3D for a movie rather than shooting it in 3D like James Cameron's likes to do. Any movie that's actually shot with 3D cameras will look better in 3D than when you do a post conversion.
Yeah, when you do
after the fact. So yeah.
Or like just like when they purposefully have shots of like all those movies in the 80s where it was like,
and I'm like,
look, the popcorn is flying at you.
We don't need that. It's like it's like I'm glad people are over the spectacle. I mean, 3D died out so long ago, especially remember when 3D TVs used to be a thing? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, George, give it a shot if you feel like you want to watch it. But we, for one, are gonna give a shot to watching Harry Potter when it comes out. Speaking of earlier, we were talking about how they're filming in not Pinewood actually. They're filming it in Leavesden Studios. I just wanted to quickly kind of go over this because John, they have the whole cast up until now. Everybody they've brought in. You can see obviously we've got the leads. These are the actors playing the characters, and you've got the familiar faces on the left that we have seen in the movies, and the new actors on the right. In the case here of Hermione Granger, obviously Emma Watson, who just lost her driver's license recently, I guess, because she's a reckless driver.
Yeah, because she can't drive.
Um,
I mean, perpetuating
Arabella
stereotypes. What's that? Anyway, but you know, obviously
but you know,
they're kid
a
actors, so
West End
I'm not really familiar
stage
with them
actor.
because they haven't been in anything. So
Well, but she
good for
she
her.
actually played Matilda on the West End in London.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
Arabella
Yes,
Stanton.
yes.
So she's actually really talented. I mean, and remember, there's that audition tape of her that's been floating on the internet for a long time. Like
No,
she literally. I mean, you talked about it. I mean, if you search
I
for
don't
like
remember that.
Arabella Stanton Hermione audition, you'll find there's a video of her actually, auditioning for the role a long time ago. I don't know if it was for this particular project or something else, but she sounds the part. She certainly has the mannerisms, and I'm totally down for it.
I
So.
mean, considering
Sorry.
that her teeth here kind of look
Yeah.
big, like what the teeth or what or because Hermione did have buck teeth in the book, so maybe that helped. Like she does have bigger teeth. Not like saying that's a bad thing. It's just like it's part of the character. So they might just because I remember they did try to give Emma Watson buck teeth during one of the first shots. Was they ironically when they at the end of the movie when they were leaving Hogwarts, and they were on the train. In that scene that was the only scene that was in the movie that they gave her the buck teeth, and she's like, this is not because like she couldn't talk and it just didn't work, so they just was like, all right, we'll just get rid of that. So yeah, but
I mean,
moving on.
most people don't remember that was even a problem, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, look, here's the thing. This actress, the original character was white, and who gives a fuck? She's not white now. Who cares? Well,
It's not not part
like,
of the identity of the character. Like it doesn't change the character from who they were, right? It's not a whole all of a sudden James Bond.
Where
is American.
it would be like if they made Ron Weasley blonde, like the whole thing, the redhead.
He's a
you gotta give him red hair. That's the part of the character.
Alistair Stout is clearly a redhead, so we don't got that problem. It's like we've been talking about. It's always going to be the matter of the actors on the left are iconic because we have known them and we have lived and grown up with them for the past 20, 25 years. The folks on the right have an uphill battle, so it's like
I feel bad for them a little bit, because they're gonna get a lot of hate. Hopefully they're not on social media, so they don't have to worry about that, but that's a whole nother thing too.
Yep. All right, let's keep on going. We have a bunch more here. I mean, we don't have to spend too much time on every one of them, but obviously Daniel Radcliffe, one of the most. I mean, you show that photo on the left to almost anyone in the world, they'll have some idea of what you're showing them. I mean, yes, there'll be a lot of people like, who the hell is that? But Harry Potter is one of the most recognizable figures in the world, and now Dominic McLaughlin has the mighty task of assuming that identity, and I mean, I don't know, like doing his own spin on it. Hopefully, I hope that all of these actors do their own, version of the character that's true to the books, but not trying to imitate the movies, because that's the worst thing you can possibly do. You got to make it your own, especially because this is meant to be a direct adaptation of the books. They're not trying to remake the movies. And yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see him with the beard and the full getup. John Lithgow is going to look probably perfect. Probably more like Richard Harris than we even realize.
Yeah.
I can easily, if you Photoshop that, I'm like, you might like blink and think that it's actually Richard Harris come back to life. Like it's wild. I can easily see that.
I'm not really familiar with Janet McTeer, but
I've seen her and stuff. Oh God, which was?
But it's just like again, Maggie Smith, iconic.
Yeah. I've seen her in definitely a few other things. I'm trying to. You guys let us know if you've seen her in something specific, but I feel like I was watching something with her in it. She's British. She's from Newcastle, so there you go. Yeah, again, Maggie Smith, iconic Dame Maggie Smith. It's gonna be hard to replace the memories, so they just have to make these characters their own. And also, I mean, she's gonna be playing this character for a decade, if not more. So yeah, well, I'm sure she will make it her own.
The biggest controversy is you have Papa.
Papa Sidu, yeah.
Now here's the thing: Alan Rickman was like personally chosen by J.K. Rowling to play the role of Snape, and he was perfect in that role. And I do think there is some precedent in terms of like, because the character in the book was described as like skinny, waif, pale, So it's just weird to have a man who is of a darker melanin complexion play that character who was described
A
as
black
pale.
actor, you can.
So
I don't think that's being racist.
I was trying to be
Yeah.
fancy about it, but yes.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know the actor. I have not seen him in anything. I'm sure he was chosen for a reason. I'm sure he will do a great job. It's weird because like this is one of the few instances where the character they do
Yes.
mention that he is pale. So it's like, just a little strange, but I'm sure they'll make it work. And like, Harry being sus of the only black teacher in the entire school, little who's the racist now. So I'm like, I'm curious how they're gonna make that work. Like that's the thing.
I mean, look, he's got a show that's on Netflix I saw the other day. It's about like he's some secret like government agency that time travels to fix things. Which the trailer kind of annoys me every time because they're like, "Oh yeah, you got a vaccine for COVID in 9 months. You don't think we went back in time?" I'm like, "Fuck you," because that completely invalidates all the hard work that all those people and researchers put in to turn RNA vaccines, mRNA vaccines that weren't even they didn't exist. There wasn't a single mRNA vaccine that existed in the world that was actually like proven, tested, and approved for use on humans, no less like in a control subject like animals and stuff. It's when somebody says that, oh yeah, you don't think we went back in time? Like I'm sure the rest of that show is great, but he's got a show on Netflix.
I don't even know what show you're talking about.
I saw that the other day. I was on Netflix like browsing through stuff randomly, and I saw it come up. It's in my list. But it's like a sci-fi show. So the Lazarus Project, that's what it is. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, Robbie Coltrane was iconic.
I love the photo though, man. It's like it's because this feels like because for me, Nick Frost looks like the Hagrid from the book. He's not going to be Robbie Coltrane. I don't expect him to be Robbie Coltrane. Nobody can be Robbie Coltrane.
It's just like to me, he just kind of looks like he's in a cosplay of Hagrid rather than being Hagrid.
A lot of them were gonna feel the same until watch at least maybe one season of the show, and they have to make you believe that they are the character, right? That's the job of the actor. So, yeah, these photos won't do that for us, unfortunately. We'll have to just watch the show. Molly Weasley, I mean, hey, Catherine Parkinson looks the part, I guess. I mean, you Photoshop her face into the image on the left. I don't know much about her.
I don't know this actress, sorry, but she's got red hair, so that's good.
Yeah, there you go. Draco Malfoy. Okay, again, one of those Tom.
I will say
the
Locks Pratt. That is such a fucking trust fund white boy name. Yep. Mm-hmm. Like that works. That and he's got the fucking skibbity riz Gen Z haircut. This kid's going to play. He's going to be an amazing Draco Malfoy. I can
easy to hate that kid. Yeah. I'm not surprised they're hiding the Voldemort cast. Also because they probably don't have to cast Voldemort until at least season 3 or 4.
Well, what was the book for season 1 he's on the back of his head, the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher.
Right, but because remind me, did they cast Ralph Fiennes in the first movie?
No, it was a different actor.
Exactly. But, so I mean, I don't think.
But maybe to keep the continuity better, because they cast random guy and then they cast somebody else later, maybe to keep it a little bit better. So we'll see.
Yep. As far as our opinions on the Harry Potter movies, I will say they were very good. I have a very biased opinion on them, but I really enjoyed the Harry Potter
and
movies.
I will say, in regards to Lucius Malfoy versus Draco, they look like father and son, like they straight do. Up.
Much like the originals, like Jason Isaacs. I think they did a good job here matching them.
I remember there was a great interview with Jason Isaacs, how he was like, there was all these things that they initially had in place, and Jason Isaacs was like, no, that wouldn't work. They're like, oh, we're gonna have him in a suit. He's like, because he's a businessman. He's like, yeah, but he's not a muggle businessman. He doesn't want to look like a muggle. He doesn't want to be in a suit. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna have like a well-coiffed hair. He's like, no, give me long hair, because again, he's like this. He's an aristocrat. Like he wants to like be fancy. And then he also made it so that the cane would become a
From his
wand,
wand.
and then
Yep.
Chris Columbus's reaction was like, I think the toy guys are gonna like you.
Like, yeah, yep. He literally walked. I remember he tells the story. He goes up to him on the set, and he's like, "What do you think about this idea?" He's like, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's
And
a good
he's
idea.
like, "Are
We'll
you
go with
wearing
that."
a curtain?" Because he was wearing a curtain, because it was
Yep.
like a velvet curtain,
Yep.
like
Mhm,
his like
mhm,
crushed velvet
mhm.
outfit in the film. But yeah, that just goes to show, like, I mean, I know there's been like hearsay about like actors, like sometimes they're like treat them like actors, but sometimes when they're good enough, like someone like Jason Isaacs, who is an
Mhm.
incredible actor, then you got to let them. And it's clear that he also respected the source material,
He did.
because if he didn't, he would have just said, "Oh
Up
yeah, that's
Nelson.
fine, whatever. Where's my paycheck?" Like, luckily he wasn't like that, and we got that fucking bomber look in the movie, and we got
Yeah.
that such a fucking great. Like, it didn't even like click. Obviously, it clicked even when I was an adult, that he
Mhm.
almost straight up killed Harry in the second movie. Like, he
Mhm.
started to say Avada Kedavra, and then
Mhm.
Dobby stopped him. So it was like,
Yep.
wow,
Yep. He
that's
was like,
boom.
"Yep,
That would have been great though,
must
because
give
I do
Dobby a
love me
suck.
good child murder in a movie. Like, get me on your side, fucking kill a kid.
Dobby is free." I love the Dobby accent. Yeah.
Yeah, if only they didn't
Must
fucking
give
like
Dobby a
cut out
suck.
his entire role in the movies and then made his death way less impactful, but sure.
I
Anyway,
mean, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. Also, Neville Longbottom. That's another. I mean, Matthew Lewis is all kinds of different these days. I mean, obviously,
yeah,
all
he's
grown
a
up, but
fucking
yeah.
wow. Like,
hmm
hello.
But Rory Wilmot, I'll take it. I'll buy
Yeah.
it. I wonder if he's like as tall as Neville was in the original movies. That's my
And
question.
then yeah, this definitely gives the vibe of young Harry
hmm
Melling. So,
Yep, a very punchable face. I'm okay with that.
wow. Okay, you're saying that about a kid? Goddamn.
What? Look. I grew up on Harry Potter. Dudley's meant to be a
Okay,
face
but
that
like
Harry
I'm
Potter
talking
wants to
about like
punch but
fake
can't do
child
it.
murder. You're talking about like actually could get
I
fucking punch the
never
kid.
said that I want to punch his face. I'm saying he's the actor's got to punch him. I'm sure he would agree, right, Amos? I mean, what's his name? Amos Kitson? There you go. I'm talking to a photo. Anyway.
Anyway, but then we have Louise Brealey as Madam Hooch, who Zoe Wanamaker, who also was in Cassandra in Doctor Who, by the way. The
Oh, yeah,
moisturize
right,
me.
yep.
That was Madam Hooch.
Mhm.
And then Ollivander, you're going from the great late Sir John Hurt to Anton Lesser.
Anton, where
Truly
did I see
lesser.
him?
I'm just
He was
kidding.
in he was in Andor. He was in Andor most recently. Yeah, that's a good pick. I
Yeah.
like him. Yep.
But yeah, this obviously, John Hurt was one of the greatest actors who've ever lived. So he does have big shoes to fill, but he had a reasonably
Yeah.
small part. So I'm sure he'll do perfectly fine.
Exactly. Agree with you.
And then Seamus Finnegan.
By
Damn,
the way,
those freckles.
real
Perfect.
quick, Frankie G, completely agree with you. See, that's what I mean. Kids can have punchable faces. Just don't punch one. You and I are on the same page, Frankie. There you go.
I would say have Ray Fiennes come back.
Yeah, easily.
Just
Bring him
full
back.
on, just
Bring him back. I don't
like,
mind at all.
you know who would actually, although here's the
He's
thing,
like the rare British man who doesn't age. Like he looks the same as he did 10 years
he
ago. Quite
does.
frankly.
But I will say this, who would be a really good Voldemort? Like, and I'm not even joking, like, it would be really funny if they did bring him into this role, not because he's a genuinely good actor, because of what his role was in the movies. I
Mhm.
genuinely think Robert Pattinson could be a really good Voldemort. Like,
Oh,
it would be
dude,
funny
yes.
as fuck to be the first person you see Voldemort kill becomes
Mhm.
Voldemort. Like,
You
kind
either-
of like how
you either
Nicholas
die
Hoult
a
auditioned
hero.
for Superman and then became
Mhm.
Lex Luthor. Like,
I mean, literally, you die a hero, and you live long enough to become a villain. Incarnate, literally, just that's
like, and I'm not saying that to be funny, like, oh, he's played Cedric Diggory, now he's, but like,
Mhm.
I think he could bring that gravitas, like, and plus he's got kind of that like weird face. I
Mhm.
think it would be funny, yes, but it would also, I think he would genuinely do
would
a
work.
really good job in the role.
I just think he's too. I mean, you know what? He's not too big of an actor to be a lead, like basically the whole villain of the franchise in an
Because
HBO
Ray
series.
Fiennes was huge at
Yeah.
the time. So
No,
like,
I'm saying I'm saying movie versus TV show. I think
yeah,
Robert
I guess
Pattinson is
so.
he can
I don't
do
think
it.
he'd do it either, but I'm just saying he would be really good in the role.
I mean, I don't think he
Anyway.
would do it simply because he would be tied to a show where he can't do as much of the other stuff. Like he's doing a million movies. Like he would be tied to the show, especially in the later seasons. He would have a big role. So yeah. But he does match the vibe. Anyway.
I'm surprised that they're casting Parvita Patil so early. Because she didn't really appear until like 3 or 4. So
I guess they maybe they are shooting multiple seasons back to back because obviously these kids will grow up really quickly. So,
but it could also be like they're like embellishing the role so that we care about them later. So that's also entirely possible.
You have a lot more runtime to work with here. Oh, Belle Powley, I recognize her on the right. We talked about this the other day. Well, Petunia Dursley was played by Fiona Shaw. Obviously, we know Fiona Shaw. I feel like I've seen Belle. Is it what's her name? Belle Powley. Belle Powley. Where did I see her? I'm trying to see. Diary of the Teenage Girl, Royal Knight. Wait, was she in the morning show? Let me take a quick look. What's her credits? Did I just go back to? They immediately sent me to her biography. That's not what I'm here for. A Royal Night Out, Carrie Pilby, the King of... Oh, dude, she was in the King of Staten Island. With Pete Davidson. That's where Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well, cool.
I know you're not a fan, so just...
Well, I don't really know the actress, so then Daniel Rigby is going to be, again, the late, great Richard Griffiths. Iconic as Vernon Dursley in all the wrong ways, but again, big shoes to fill. But I'm sure he'll do a good job. Same with Belle Powley is
again one of those iconic iterations. I'm like, you're gonna have to really step up your game to make people hate you in the way that it's like this again, punchable face. Not him. More
not gonna lie, for the hottest of seconds, I thought this was Tom Hardy. Like just for like the quickest of seconds, I'm like, wait, and then I'm like, oh no.
Talk about a glow up on Petunia got an upgrade.
Honestly, maybe they really want to go again. Here's the thing. That's what the thing is now. They gotta make them hot. Like they did this, they did the same thing for Aunt May, gotta make her hot. It's just
I mean, to the point they addressed it in the movie, right? Like Aunt May's
and then they made Pamela Voorhees hot. It's like, goddamn, guys, like whatever happened to
it continues the whole like Jon Favreau, always has the best love interest, even when he's playing happy. It's Marissa Tomei, as Aunt May. Going back to what was the movie that he did back anyway? There was a movie where he's like a famous chef. He becomes a famous chef, Jon Favreau, and he goes from Chef. Yeah, there you go. He goes from was it Sofia Vergara to Sofia Vergara to Scarlett Johansson, right? Like that's I think I forget which direction that happens, but anyway.
So Cornelius Fudge, they're casting him now.
Frankie's like Superman went the opposite way.
Quirrell, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah. I don't
Like
know what you
Luke
mean by
Fallon.
that, Frankie.
Hello.
I buy it. But hello, Monique. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Still Tuesday for some folks, but depending on what time zone you're in. Argus Filch, underrated role. I mean, he's a part of a lot of the movies, even though he doesn't have a big role. I mean, Paul Whitehouse, I think, will do a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen much of his work, but
Lily Potter has not been cast. James Potter has not been cast.
Not surprised.
And then Voldemort has not been cast either.
But I would totally just bring back, like you said, Ray Fiennes. Bring him back.
Bring back Ray Fiennes.
Oh, you're talking about Ma Kent got a downgrade? Oh, come on now. It's a different Ma Kent. I mean, feel free, Frankie G, to crush on Neva Howell all you want. I'm sure she would appreciate it. But Diane Lane was a different kind of. It was a different. They were casting A-list.
And if we're really going there, I would say she's a downgrade from Annette O'Toole. There, if we're talking about hotness, Annette O'Toole, bomb. Anyway.
I prefer Diane Lane if I were going in that direction. Anyway, but like before we get into trouble, would you fan cast as Sirius Black? Oh, you know what? That's a
bring back Ariel.
Bring back. No, he might be a bit too old at this point.
He's too old
and he's
now,
busy
no.
making like the 2 seasons a year for Slow Horses, which I completely appreciate. Keep making them as fast as you can. I really like that they have a new season every year, like unlike some shows. But I don't know, Sirius Black. Who would you pick?
You got to get someone who is the stature of like Gary Oldman, who
and, like,
can
the
do
charisma
like
has to be
evil, like who you think. Well, in
there. He can
terms
walk
of
the
like
line.
the
right,
walk the
between
line of like, but like he's clearly a good guy, but like can give off the impression of evil. You know,
right. That's the key. And it seems like they're casting as many British actors as they possibly can. So I don't even know like. who I
even
would
though John
pick in that.
Lithgow's American, but you know.
Well, I'm just saying as many, like not everybody, obviously, but like by and large, they are casting British actors. I can't think.
I'm
of
just
a name
saying,
right
you
now.
guys missed an opportunity with Adam Driver as Snape. I'm just saying.
Hey, that's a good point. Good point. I mean, maybe Tom Hiddleston could he play Sirius Black? Put a mustache on him, maybe.
I think he has two. Like he can do evil pretty well, but he can do like kind of smarmy evil, not like genuine creep factor that Gary Oldman had. Like the smirking, wink, mustache twirling kind of villain that Tom Hiddleston's very good. I'm not saying he's not talented enough to do that, but like that's the kind of like villainous nature that I think Tom Hiddleston would do.
Why am I forgetting the name of the Cillian Murphy? Do you think Cillian Murphy could do it? Could he play
again? I think he might be too evil looking. I would say he'd be better as Voldemort. I'm just saying, like
maybe you know what we were talking about Tom Hardy earlier. Maybe just Tom Hardy. I think Tom Hardy can walk that.
Tom Hardy's too. Tom Hardy.
Do you think he's too big? Is he? I mean, well, he is Tom Hardy. You just see him as Tom Hardy. So, I wouldn't mind if it's a black actor, as long as he's a good actor and again can do a good job. Man, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Adam would have made a great. Adam Driver would have made a great Snape. I can easily see like that the Secret Boss episode, like where he plays Snape now instead of Darth Vader. That would be amazing. Yeah, Cillian can do everything and anything. But hey, that's all the casts that we have so far for Harry Potter. I mean, the show comes out. What did they say? 2027. It's not that long away. Long ways out. They're already starting to film soon. They're building up the sets. They actually built a freaking school on campus at Leavesden, so all the kids don't even have to leave the studio a lot. They must feel like they're in boarding school, like shooting the show, which is basically work, and then you go to school, you live there. It's like they got their own probably army barracks or whatever. But yeah, Roger Jean Page also could do everything and anything.
Honestly, I could see that.
The eyes of a lot of people.
I could see that.
I could see it too. You just gotta have you gotta have the versatility. Like Chris Pine could do it too. He's probably too big of a star to do it, but Chris Pine could easily play that. He can walk that line of having the charisma of a Gary Oldman, but then being able to portray something on the more evil side, but then also more on obviously being a very caring figure in the life of Harry Potter. But John, I think we have exhausted our source of news today. But before we move on to the next thing, let us know what you guys think about all the Harry Potter castings. Who would you cast for Voldemort or the parents of Harry, as well as, of course, Sirius Black and any of the other characters that we haven't so far gotten any castings for. Of course, they're probably still just focusing on mostly season 1 cast, but let us know what you like to, who you would like to see in the new Harry Potter TV show. Which actors would you like to bring in for the roles that you haven't seen be cast yet? In the meantime, we're going to move on to the next part, John, as we usually do. Let me see if I can find the graphic. The quick hits, if you guys are not familiar, the quick hits are essentially news, but, a lot faster. So let's hit it up. And first thing.
Just, Dan, why?
This wasn't obvious, said researchers. The potato apparently evolved from a tomato ancestor. Apparently, the next time you are eating a potato, just remember, it is a long lost cousin or ancestor of the tomato. So I guess the next time you are dipping your French fry in ketchup, is that what do they call it? When like two cousins. Never mind. I didn't land the joke, but I was going somewhere with that. Now I totally lost track of what I was saying. So yeah, hybridization event took place about 9 million years ago. Incest, that's the word. That's the word. There you go.
Cool.
I guess the next time you're dipping your French fry in ketchup, is that incest? That's what I was trying to get to. Potato and tomato.
Yeah, you fucked up the joke, but like
I fucked up the joke. It's okay. It's late night. You know.
Anyway, let's.
You guys get it. Frankie G's like, yeah, okay, Dan.
Anyway, let's move on. And fuck you, LA Times. Hang on. Anyway, this is the flex. They flex it on dating apps to recite the pledge inside the Gen Z cult of AMC A-list.
I'm gonna see myself out. This is funny, John, but I'm sure you do this all the time.
I don't even know what it's trying to say because it won't let me fucking read the article. I hate you.
Okay, so basically what this is about is apparently there's a books out in LA, I guess, where they all have AMC A-list and these Gen Zers, you know, and it's kind of become a cult where they're like, they put it on their dating apps. It's like, I'm an AMC A-lister. Come hang out with me. We'll go see movies for free. Like it's become like that.
Honestly,
like a weird thing to do.
Honestly, I'll keep this in mind. Like,
anyway,
also fuck you, LA Times. Anyway,
yeah, dipping French fries in ketchup will never feel the same for me. Anyway, Brave New World, John. They put out some concept art of Anthony Mackie's Captain America fighting the Serpent Society, the would-be Serpent Society that ultimately got cut. I feel like that character in the back, it's probably going to be what was going to be played by Seth Rollins. If we got this, do you think the movie would have actually been better, considering what we got with
probably
an Hulk sequel, rather than a
it's
Captain
kind of
America
funny
movie?
that they did try to do like, oh, we're gonna have like more grounded series like Winter Soldier, and then it kind of resulted in not a great movie because then they had to reshoot half the thing, but then in the two movies this year that embraced the silliness of comic book movies are the two highest grossing, comic book movies of the year. So maybe going grounded just wasn't the way to go.
It also, so this is the thing though. Fantastic Four was made once Kevin Feige kind of got back a lot of his power from, the Bob Chapek era, once Bob Chapek got unceremoniously fired, but, for all the right reasons. And Captain America 4 was sort of from the Chapek era, and then they sort of became a Frankenstein's monster because Kevin Feige tried to fix it, obviously, probably too late in the process. So we know all about that story. But
anyway.
I've apparently ruined French fries and ketchup for Frankie. I'm sorry, man. And the story.
I mean, to be fair, ketchup ruined itself. Ketchup is kind of overrated, but
that's why I'm just gonna stick to Slim Jims now. Anyway, sponsor us. Timura Morrison, John. Of course, the man behind the Boba Fett. I am Boba Fett. He had a blunt response when he was asked whether he's gonna
I'm sorry.
returning.
Now I'm just imagining you as like in a Macho Man Randy Savage like costume, just being like Slim into a Slim Jim.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to get that out of my head into the universe. I have to will it into the universe because now I want to see that.
Cream of the crop. Oh yeah. I have to get my deeper voice out.
And then you have to get like a handful of creamers.
Yes, the creamers.
Yeah,
dude, literally. Okay, so when I was doing the Olympics for NBC, I brought a bunch of creamers from like the coffee table. They had coffee tables set up all across the building, and I literally had them like by the desk because you're working long like days.
Right.
So I would just like pull out my Macho Man like gimmick every so often, just so I had the whole and then I would just need a coat pocket to put one in and come back for it later. The whole promo. I actually memorized part of the promo. So,
yeah. Somebody sent me that. I'm like, I don't like wrestling. She's like, I don't like it either. But this was funny to me.
I don't think Macho Man would appreciate the mini ones. I gotta get the big stuff. But it's not. That's
he would appreciate all sizes of Slim Jim. I think.
You know what? That's fair.
He is ready.
Yep.
Anyway, Tamara Morrison apparently had a blunt ass response when asked whether he's set for Boba Fett return, and he just fucking said straight up no.
Nope.
Because fuck you, you ruined my show.
Although, dude, if you read the rest of it, it's kind of funny. He says we really have to treasure those moments now. All you need to do is send a fax or a letter or an email, because apparently Tamura Morrison still lives in 1995, to power those, or to those powers that be at Lucasfilm. I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy does not receive fax messages. I'm sure they'd love to hear from everyone. Please give Daniel Logan and Tamura Morrison another chance to put them somewhere. He's been really vocal about how Din Djarin, like, the Mandalorian, kind of took over the show and was at least in part responsible for Boba Fett to not be as good of a show as it could have been. Although I think there was a lot of other things that were wrong with it, like he's chasing around a creature and picks him up in the kitchen. I'm Boba Fett. Although I love the whole desert story that he had, like the origin story parts of him. But not the origin story, but like, when he's out in the desert, like the flashbacks, that I was okay with. That show had a lot of other problems though. I don't mind seeing him back though, because he's also played more characters in Star Wars than pretty much any other actor technically. So bring him back. Bring back Boba Fett if you can. So yeah, that could have been so good. I was expecting it to be like the Denzel movie good. What was the book of whatever he did a long time ago? I was expecting it to be like that. Remember there was a book of Eli, was it? Is that the
yeah.
Movie?
I'm shocked you remember that because nobody else did.
I don't know. For all the post-apocalyptic movies that suck, I kind of enjoyed that one. But anyway, I'm a big Denzel guy, so I'm sorry I missed the trailer reaction earlier. I'm sure you had fun with it, John. Kathleen Kennedy is going soon. Don't you worry. She's gonna be moving on. Eli, yes, thank you. Okay, PBS shared a statement regarding, PBS shared a statement regarding the closure of the Corporation of Public Broadcasting. We talked about this yesterday, John. Again, it's just unnecessary, but the Corporation of Public Broadcasting is going to cease to exist because they don't have any money to distribute to PBS. But the network PBS and their stations will continue the legacy of CPB, and they thank Patricia Harrison, who was the one basically running the show over at CPB, and the last 20 years she and her team ensured that public television remained available and accessible to everyone. We hope that will continue to be that way. Obviously, the cuts do affect certainly some of the smallest public access stations across the country in America, but PBS won't be going away. They do lose a lot of funding, a significant amount though. So I just wanted to point this out, make sure this was didn't go unaddressed. But yeah, I thought a Book of Eli was a hit too. But hey, support your PBS station, your local PBS station. When they ask you for a donation, I mean, and you don't have to donate much, but they make some good programming, and it's much deserved for a lot of storytellers that don't get the opportunity in a very commercialized world of Hollywood. So yeah, exactly. Some good people, like, and you don't have to donate millions of dollars, like $10 here and there also helps. So anyway. Zoom movie like Ice Cube, War of the Worlds. It was all about data, John. It was all about data. We'll talk about that another time. It's so bad. Fox One, a streaming service, has now got a launch date, John, and a price has been revealed. Apparently, you will be able to get Fox Sports, and Fox News for $20 per month, which automatically puts it like in the Netflix territory, but would not nearly as much.
First off, Fox News isn't worth the toilet paper I fucking wipe my ass with. First off, second, like, I don't think that this is gonna be a hit at all. Like, who cares about Fox? Who cares about Fox Sports? Like, it's whatever.
Bob Iger will retire for another time soon. Don't you worry, Patrick. War of the Worlds. Yes, there's an Ice Cube War of the Worlds movie that sucks so bad. I can't even get to the trailer, but I figured out like what it's about, and it's not very good. It's worse.
Yeah, my friend watched it all the way through, and he said it was bad.
Ice Cube's character's son is the big like hacker that he's looking for his job. Not to mention everybody he talks to has Teams. Nobody uses Microsoft Teams unless you're forced to for work. And then the
kind of like how you forced me to use Slack, Dan.
Yeah, but people actually do use Slack. The people who work. Just saying. But
Discord
I use
is better.
What? We're working on that. We're working on that. Promise.
I'm just saying Discord is very good. Like, a Discord.
I use Discord.
Well, until they eventually fucking make it like a public company.
Yeah. Anyway.
Have stocks and ruin the fucking thing.
By the way, what's the date for this? They have a launch date. It's coming out. $20 a month is way too high. Even if you give me live NFL games. August 21st. Okay, so it's like literally 2 weeks away.
Cool. Whatever. Don't care. Moving on. Let's go.
Big noon Saturday, NFL. Roku, John, on the other hand, $2.99. It's actually quite cheap. Roku has launched Howdy, which is their own ad-free version of the service. I mean, they have like an ad-supported like Roku channel, so like you can go and watch stuff that's kind of like Pluto and Tubi, but now they've offered Howdy, which for $3 a month, you don't get any ads. It's designed to complement and not compete with other premium services. So this is not designed to replace a Netflix, obviously. It's designed to be, cheap enough. Like for $3 a month, it's certainly cheaper than a cup of coffee. So, yeah.
Well, unless you get like from a gas station.
I don't even think a gas station coffee cup will cost you.
Nope, the gas station near me costs $1.25. It went up from $1.06.
All right. I hope you enjoy that coffee.
I don't. I hate coffee, so I don't drink it.
By the way, in the War of the Worlds, I'm just going to ruin it for you guys. The big twist at the end is the aliens are here for a data. Because apparently nobody has studied.
They revealed that in the trailer.
Yeah, no, but like, you know how dumb that is? The whole idea, it's like, dude, I thought Hollywood of that age was done, where like people actually paid attention to some level of logic. Because I'm like, data, like, what do you mean information? Atoms have information. Like, do you know? Did you not study? Anyway, I'm gonna go on a whole sci-fi rant, and it's just not, that movie's not worth my time. Moving on. Ice Cube, great dude, terrible movie. Snickers bar, depending on the size. It depends on the size. If you get the king size, you get the family size. But speaking of size, John, Lilo and Stitch. Speaking of family, the biggest movie of the year, the only $1 billion grossing movie of the year so far. We now have a Disney.
You don't turn your back on family.
Well, we had the quick hit music playing under it. It was just a different vibe. Felt more positive. Were, except they're dumber anyway.
I mean, quite literally, she turned her back on family.
Mm-hmm. That's true. But what if you scroll down here? We have a date for when this releases on Disney Plus, so you guys can see it starting Wednesday, September 3rd, which gives it a massive 124-day theatrical window. The movie opened in May 23rd, John, and it's just coming out of theaters. It is a $1 billion movie. We have talked about how Disney is one of the better studios with just leaving their movies in theaters, and clearly they've done that
Ohana
here.
Means jack fucking shit, because you can just go to California and just forget all about your family. Oh, but she has the portal gun. How about fucking suck my nuts, because that doesn't mean shit. That's like a band-aid. You put a little band-aid on your bullshit movie to be like, oh, gives her an all-out, like, fucking, oh yeah, it's an out. No, it isn't. Fuck off. No, it isn't. Get the hell out of here.
By the way, I was watching Beekeeper over the weekend, and in that movie, also the evil people are like a corporation that's scamming like old, like adults who live in, like, old people who live in their own homes and have like, savings, and they just take their money and they hold their data hostage, whatever that. There's a word for that kind of cybercrime, but yeah. Like, who are you? I'm the beekeeper. I'm a working man. I'm a working man. Keep bees. There's a whole mythology. I swear to God, they were trying to do a John Wick thing.
Did you order the fucking latte? Who the hell are you? I'm the barista.
I called your name twice. I can't wait. They need to make that movie. Like, and give Godfrey his credit. Like, inspired by a comic stash from Gilbert.
I'm out the floor, and you walked right on top of it. Yeah, so? Well, I'm the janitor.
And he will beat you up with the stick. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. Speaking of,
he's gonna beat somebody up with that mop.
Every time he beat a bunch of people up with a mop in The Beekeeper. Actually, leave Jason alone. Damn it! No, we won't. We love Jason Statham. Are we?
Yeah, we know, Jason. It's the title of the movie. I'm the transporter. I transport things back and forth. We know, Jason.
Very simple.
I want to watch that.
You don't need that anymore.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Godfrey, but I've seen that clip. God knows how many times.
It's so good. And it's like Jason Statham's right in the booth, and the dude is just like having a good time. Anyway, he's surprised how
speaking of terrible things, Buffy, hello.
Buffy. The new Buffy. Details. Well, yeah, you see the old Buffy, the new Buffy training together. Is that what's the name of the new actress?
No fucking clue.
Sarah Michelle Gellar on the left, obviously, and on the right you have Ryan Kira Armstrong. Oh, she was in a bunch of stuff recently. She was in Skeleton Crew. Yeah, that's what she's known for. I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar is actually really excited to bring back the show, and she even wants to bring back some actors whose characters have been dead in the show, because this is like a requel. So I don't know how the logic behind that would work, like canon, but I guess we'll see. And yes, Sarah Michelle Gellar is back, and she's training up for the role.
I can't imagine it'll be any good. Like the original Buffy's like such a classic. I don't think they'll, reach those heights.
This looks like a show that could potentially do really well. I mean, the nostalgia factor will be there as long as they do a good job with it. I don't mind it. I mean, Buffy is iconic and a big part of our cultural zeitgeist, and if Sarah Michelle Gellar is committing to it, then by all means. Joss Whedon, though, no, I don't think he's back.
No.
Yep.
Which is probably going to be the main reasons why this is not very good. I understand he's a piece of shit, but like, he is the reason why that show was as good as it was. So I can't imagine it'll be that great.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar is still playing the same character, so it's just this new, actor. What's her name again? Ryan Kira
Armstrong.
She's playing a different character, but she's sort of taken over the role that Buffy had originally. Right? So that's the idea. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep on going, shall we? Jason Isaacs. Speaking of Draco's father, Jason Isaacs has joined Taylor Kitsch and Diego Luna. We talked about this a little while ago. Diego Luna and Taylor Kitsch are in this new thriller called 11 Days. It's a hostage thriller, and I can imagine Jason Isaacs is probably playing the villain. But if you scroll down a bit, I think they gave us a bit of information about the show, the movie itself. It takes place in the sweltering heat of a Texas summer in 1974, watching as ruthless prisoner Federico Carrasco takes control of the Huntsville penitentiary. Anyway, the prison's priest, Father Joseph O'Brien, played by Isaacs. All right, so he's not the villain.
So he's not the villain.
He's not the villain. All right, proved me wrong. Joins forces with Jim Estelle Kish, head of the Texas Department of Corrections. I said corrections. By entering you might as well call it corruptions. By entering the eye of the storm. That's a commentary on the American prison system. And offering himself as a hostage to outgame Carrasco and his men in an attempt to save the lives of the other hostages that have been taken. That sounds interesting. Cool. All right, that was a fun read.
So yeah, seems interesting.
Isaac's doing what he does best. Yeah, exactly. Isaacs is doing his thing. He's a great actor. I loved him in Star Trek Discovery, the first season. Although it takes a weird turn, but anyway. Netflix unveils the full cast for the Twits movie. That definitely is a Roald Dahl book. Original song by David Byrne and Haley Williams. John, what do you think about this becoming a movie?
I'm probably not gonna watch it because I can't. Why are they making a fucking musical about the Twits? Like the whole idea of the Twits is that they're old miserable fucks who hate everybody and just want to live in their filth. That's it.
It could be fun.
Imagine.
It could be fun. James Gunn could do this really well. This is right up his alley. Emilia Clarke, Natalie Portman, Johnny Vegas, quite a few big names there. Ryan Lopez. The cast is
even Alan Tudyk can't bring me in. Sorry, guys.
Enterprising is intrigued. So there you go. I'm very glad that you were intrigued. Well, Netflix also collars a William Shatner cop series, TJ Hooker, for an action comedy movie. They're basically remaking that classic, or I guess it depends on your perspective, William Shatner cop series into a comedy movie. John, is this sort of like The Naked Gun was good, or they're just kind of hopping on the back of that trend? Or
I mean, the thing is, technically the Jump Street movies were the first to do the cop cop
revival
series turned action comedy movie first, and Naked Gun remained a comedy. So the fact that
William Shatner wasn't coming back. But
as long as he's, as long as it's good, I'd probably go see it.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, you're not gonna get Heather Locklear or William Shatner or any of those people because William Shatner is freaking 94 years old. But I wouldn't mind seeing, a revival as long as they do a good job with it. Netflix tends to have a better record with TV shows than they do with movies, though. So I don't know. Maybe that doesn't bode so well for it. Anyway, moving on.
Speaking of terrible movies, Mel Gibson's Resurrection of the Christ can now be 2 movies that will both open in spring of 2027.
Why not 2? Make it 3. Make it a trilogy.
I mean, the Holy Trinity.
That's true. Actually, you know what? You're right about that. It did become it was the biggest independent movie of all time at the time of its release, and this is the follow-up. So,
and it was the highest grossing R-rated movie for a while. I think it then got dethroned by Deadpool and its succeeding sequels.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see how well this does. I don't know if it's going to do as well.
I'm not watching it anyway.
Yep. Heat 2, John, there's a couple of things going on in this article. So apparently Heat 2 is getting so expensive for Warner Brothers. They want a streaming service. And in this case specifically, they've actually asked Apple, because of course they've been working with Apple on F1, distributing that movie for them. So they've presented this to Apple saying, hey, will you help us co-finance it? Because Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdi are like, we're not giving Michael Mann $200 million for a freaking Heat movie. I'm like, what are you gonna do? Is there gonna be like a CGI monster in the movie? Like, are they shooting at kaijus? Like, why do you need 200 million? But the point is, Michael Mann actually cut the budget down to 170, which, John, quite frankly, is still way too high. Like, most Marvel movies these days are not 170 million dollars. So I don't understand why they need that much money.
Heat. Michael Mann can do whatever the fuck he wants with whatever fucking budget he wants. Let him cook. Considering Heat 2, I've heard the book is great, like, because it's both a prequel and a sequel. So we'll see how that goes.
But here's the thing, though. Like, you can see in the article here, I mean, they've had a couple of other big time actors that, rumored for this role before, or to be attached to a Heat sequel in the past. I think Adam Driver was one. But I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio currently is interested and in talks to star in the movie. So if you bring in a DiCaprio, then I'd imagine that they might be more willing to give it a bigger budget.
No, Elite Easy. This isn't produced by John Peters, so we don't have to worry about a giant spider.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't see how 170 million makes sense. It just doesn't make any sense. It's too high. But yeah, hopefully they figure things out, or Apple comes in and finances it. We'll have to wait and see. Miami Vice is also getting a remake, right? That's the one that Joseph Kosinski's working on. So yeah, good time to be alive. Speaking of being a good time to be alive, John, comic accurate suits are back. I wouldn't say they're back like this year, because it's not like we haven't been seeing comic accurate suits for a while, since like Marvel started.
But like, we're not seeing the fucking over designed crap that Marvel puts out. Like, I don't like the lines on the Superman suit, but I like how they're going for more of that simplistic vibe with these kinds of suits. So,
by the way, these set of photos here, if you click on it and we can get a bit better look at it, we get a look at two very different bulges. I mean,
yeah, we get the Daddy Pedro's bulge with this. Like, that's
I mean, Tom Holland kind of stuck in the middle between two bulges here. I mean, there's another photo of Tom Holland with the mask on, actually, where you really do see the bulge, and it's got like some light. He's in the sun and stuff. I'm talking way too much. Let me dig myself out of this hole. Hey, MTG. Yeah, 200 million is way too much money. That movie would not make money. Heat 2 is not making enough money to break even with that budget. So, yeah, but the suits are great. You know what? After watching some of the stunt stuff that Tom Holland was doing, I do think the logo kind of works now. Just in that photo, for whatever reason, I was like, that spider symbol looks way too big on his chest. He's too slender. But anyway, yeah. Chris Evans' Captain America did have a very comic accurate suit, especially like at least in his first Avengers.
Because I'm not a fucking anti-Semitic Bible thumping motherfucker that Mel Gibson is, so I have no interest in that movie at all. Like, look, if not religious, I don't really care.
If you're religious and you can, separate the art from the artist, then I'm sure you'll have fun with the sequel. But we haven't seen the movie yet; it's not out yet, so I can't comment on it. I haven't seen it. All I'll say is I'm not particularly interested in that genre. I know Nelson, I know Nelson personally, so I know that he would be interested in it. So when it comes out, you can let us know what you thought about it. If like Liz watches it, then I'm sure we'll talk about it. So, but yeah, Pedro was good in the movie. I agree with you. He was a good Mr. Fantastic, especially like the whole like the internal conflict in him of like he's a perfectionist and he made these big mistakes, which led them to getting these powers, but also they're like, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. I think he played that aspect of the character really well. I just hope that, we know he has got the charisma to like flip, he's not going to all of a sudden become, I don't know, what was Tony Stark levels of charisma, but that would be really out of character. But I do think he's got the range to play the many different sides of Mr. Fantastic that, of course, Matt Shackman was talking about. So anyway. No, we were not talking about Captain America. Anyway, Weapons is a great movie from all.
Also, my name is spelled with an H. I would like to remind the people that it is spelled with an H. It's
just an autocorrect or maybe a spelling mistake. It's all good.
Just saying, it's with an H. There it is. Anyway, oh no,
that's the
wrong one. Where's the?
Where's the?
There it is. Dude, fucking put it out of order, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's done.
That's
We're
all
done.
the quickest that we had. That's all the quickest that we had. I was just gonna quickly mention though, we're gonna be talking about weapons tomorrow. John is gonna be going on a mission for a bit, and I've got a special guest on the show tomorrow who's gonna be seeing weapons a bit early on an early screening from Warner Brothers, and we'll talk about it tomorrow without spoilers, but we will talk about weapons on the show tomorrow. So definitely come by for that. But in the meantime, as we like to do, it's time. It's DC time.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all in the line. That's why I know that victory's mine. I prefer Jared Leto.
Honka honka.
All right, welcome on into another episode of DCU Daily. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get into a bunch of stuff that we got to talk about. John will be back in a moment, but until then, of course, honka honka in the chat. Bane will break you is here, enterprising. I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am. Still stuck in my head, but hey, we're here to talk about DC. I'm here to talk about DC. John will be right back. Until then, you're stuck with me, which is quite all right. I'm okay with that. We do have to get into a bunch of different things today. Let me see if I can, because I think John had some of the links open, but now I've got to pull these up. Here we go. Okay, so the very first thing we got to get into is, well, we have an upcoming, comic from a new series of Batman comics, guys. We talked about this not too long ago that they're basically relaunching Batman with this new. Look, I usually. In the past would always tell you I prefer the black suit. I don't like color because it takes away from the whole stealthiness of Batman, but I really love the blue and black suit, and or if you want to call it blue and gray suit here. And with Batman #1, a relaunch of the character, you're getting an amazing suit, and now we're less than a month away from this launch, and Jim Lee, we're just thanking all the folks on the team working on it, and I can't wait to see what stories they're telling with this, and I wouldn't even mind if the DCU Batman had this exact version of the suit because it looks good. I did not think I would enjoy this particular iteration. Also, just the logo, like the bat symbol, it's and the car is kind of like the Robert Pattinson version of the car. It's got all the right elements here, so I can't wait for this. MPG there in the chat saying Batman can't wait for the DCU Batman, although I still feel like Damian takes up a lot of space in the Brave and the Bold storyline. Well, I mean, that's part of the deal, right? And you're going to have other Bat family members. So that's all going to lead to Batman himself having less of a role, or at least less screen time. But yeah, this art is spectacular. It's great imagery, like you guys are saying. I can't wait to see what kind of stories they tell with this. And I really do hope that, this is maybe, the version of the suit, maybe even the logo, the bat symbol that they go with for the upcoming DCU Batman, because this right here, dude, that's epic. That's iconic. Put that on my wall. I can definitely use more of this. It's also really nice with how if the blue is sort of like this neon blue, or maybe like when the rest of the suit is dark, you see the symbol. So you see him coming, but the dread is there, like Batman's coming at you. It's, at least in the comic book form, it looks good. I wonder how if they were to try to do this in live action, if it would actually work really well or not. I mean, I'm sure they've wanted to do it in the past, and there's reasons why they didn't go there. So what I will say, though, the DCU Batman fan casting is currently leading the poll in the community chat. So if you guys are been following the community posts, we put up a poll for who we're going to do as our Fancast Friday topic on, obviously, Friday this week. And DCU Batman is one of the 4 options, and it had by far and away the most votes. So it looks like we're going to be casting or fan casting DCU's Batman on Friday. And yeah, I mean, he is very much the James Bond of superheroes. You guys are not wrong about that. I can't wait to see what more we get from the DCU Batman that we haven't already seen from all the other iterations. But John, I mean, before we actually move forward, did you have anything to add here? I mean, the Batman #1 coming out soon, and we're gonna be getting this amazing baller suit with the new symbol, the blue and gray.
by Jorge Jimenez. Yeah, looks
Yeah.
pretty damn cool. Kind of gives the vibe of like both the old school suit, new school, does some things different, but very, very good. And he's got the bulge.
He's got
He's
the
got
bulge.
the bulge.
I just noticed the bulge. Holy shit, that is a bulge. Anyway, I really hope Gunn draws from this, says Elite Easy. I love how the artist described the new Gotham looking like Blade Runner Japan rather than a dying avocado like of old. Reminds me of 70s comic bats too. I agree. I think that's really, again, they're trying to change things up, give Batman a proper refresh. So yeah, it is. Apparently, it's a bulge, Bane. That is definitely apparently it's a bulge. John pointed it out, not me, but yeah, exactly. It looks like a very classic Batman, but the color combinations, like just having the blue be featured as more than, I mean, it doesn't look like it's like an accented. It's a much brighter tone, like Monique was saying. It's a lighter tone of blue, and then even the gray is much lighter. But then again, I guess it depends on how it's being drawn. Like you could easily see that they're gonna have Batman in the shadows still. So, you know what? That's a good question, Patrick. I think we're gonna talk about it more on the Fancast Friday. Historically speaking, most of the time they've cast Batman, it's been a well-known actor. It's rare. I mean, Christian Bale was probably the least known actor, but even he had like American Psycho under his belt. So yeah, great bulge too. So we'll have a few good options on Friday, and I bet a few of them will be names you'll recognize. So exactly, yeah. I mean, look, I think James Gunn has been open to the idea of a brighter colored suit. He just hasn't gone far enough into the process. At least he's not letting on how far along they are with any kind of casting for Batman. So yeah, he's holding things close to his vest, and we'll have to wait and see what that becomes. Speaking of which, Jordan, good question. A Stranger Things like show. Wasn't there gonna be like a show back in the DCU era, John, that was gonna be like the Strange Adventures or something like that?
Yeah.
And I got killed. I think that was meant to be like this anthology level kind of a show, maybe an episodic anthology even, or a seasonal one like American Horror Story. So I'm sure James Gunn would probably revisit that idea. I'm sure it's not completely dead, but they were working on something like that back in the DCEU days. So I don't know if that's still possible. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it could be a lesser known actor. Yeah, I mean, it's all relative too. Like, it depends on who they cast. Like, it might be a lesser known actor that you really know because you love whatever they were in. Like, for example, if you were a fan of one of the shows David Cornsweet was in before he became Superman, you were like, oh my God, I know that dude. Like, I've seen him in so many episodes. But most people didn't know who David Cornsweet was at all. So, yeah, I agree with you, Enterprising. Yeah, and the script is supposed to be done this year. So, and the comic drops in September. So, yeah, exactly. And hopefully that's more than just coincidence, because I do love this suit. And yeah, I mean, they are fast tracking Wonder Woman, but yeah, they are expecting. I mean, because Batman Brave and the Bold, it feels like they've been working on longer. So they're saying they're fast tracking Wonder Woman because I have a feeling that wasn't so much of an active, project for them until maybe late last year, early this year. So they are moving faster on that one. And yes, John, is that garlic toast? Care to let us know?
No, it's just bread with butter. I didn't have time. I grabbed the first thing I could find. I hope it's not expired. It kind of has a weird taste to it, but I should be fine.
I guess you'll find out later, won't you? Remember, John, just don't go dipping any French fries in ketchup, but because you'll be,
I don't dip my French fries in ketchup anyway.
Anyway, hopefully a Justice League by 28-29. I think that's still a bit optimistic. I don't think we're getting a Justice League at least until 2030 or so, if you do the math on all the movies they've got scheduled. But for all we know, the secret project James Gunn is working on, that Superman is a big part of, could be a Justice League movie. So, because I'm guessing that will come out probably after Brave and the Bold and the Wonder Woman movie. So at that point, you've introduced the Trinity and probably a whole bunch of Lanterns, obviously, and maybe even a Flash, or you can introduce them in the Justice League movie too. And if the Teen Titans movie comes out, then it's probably possible. I wouldn't be entirely surprised, but I think it's unlikely as of right now that we get a Justice League before like 2030 at the minimum. Yeah, exactly. Most people did not know about David Cornsweet before Superman. So yes. We shall see, John. We shall see. But you know what we also shall see? We also shall see some really, really amazing fan art. We like to focus on some fan art every once in a while. And this one here it's probably the best version I've seen yet of Aaron
Mhm.
Pierre as Jon Stewart. This is not official, so don't take it the wrong way. This is not official fan art,
Nope.
but this is well, it's not official art, but it is fan art. It doesn't look moldy. And John says, "Yeah, I'm gonna eat it." Yep.
I inspected. I'm very good at it, but even then, there's a spot you miss every once. But it wasn't green. That was the most important part. It wasn't green, so that's good.
Yeah. John, what do you think about this suit? There's a lot of black in there, but I also like the green highlights and the accents. Obviously, the
Well, yeah,
logo's
that's
there.
very much his costume in the comics, so
Yeah.
it looks fantastic. So
It looks like something straight out of the Justice League animated show, except for live action. So you're adding some more texturing. It's got the shiny, what would you call it, the chest plate. And Aaron Pierre obviously looks the part as Jon
Yeah.
Stewart. I think he's gonna fit in perfectly.
I would imagine. Whoa, ooh, voice crack there. But I will say, I think personally that he's gonna have like a Green Lantern suit that looks more like Hal Jordan's suit, because he's like the successor to quote unquote to Hal Jordan. So he's probably gonna have like something that's not. He's like, I don't like so much green. And then like by the end of the season, hopefully it's the season, not the series. Hopefully it's multiple seasons, that he's gonna look something like this, where it's like he's grown as the Green Lantern, and he's like, I'm forging my own identity as my own Green Lantern type thing. So
I'm down for that. I think that works. Yep.
Mhm. Hell yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay. Well, what's next? We got a few other things to talk about. We're getting to James Gunn's birthday in a moment, but all right, let's move on to the next thing, shall we? So, John, can you believe it? It's been 9 years since the original the original Suicide Squad movie came out. I said Fantastic Four. That would be wrong.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was saying it wasn't the original either. It was probably the worst iteration of them. But Suicide Squad in 2016, John, it made $325 million domestically, which Superman has now surpassed. And it made a lot more money internationally. It made over 400 million. But that's a number that Superman will probably have trouble getting to. But again, 2016 was a different time for superhero movies at the box office in general. Superhero genre was much more new at the time. Well, not new in the sense that cinematic universe. The idea of a superhero cinematic universe was much newer. Superhero movies were just all the rage. So, and of course, China. The other markets, and there was fewer streaming services, Netflix and Hulu, I guess. And I don't even know if Disney Plus was around in 2016. So
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, it's like there's reasons why like that Suicide Squad movie, which a lot of people and certainly most critics and most people don't think is very good. Although I had a lot of fun with it. It made $749 just almost in its sleep. Can you imagine if it was actually good? It might have made like $1.5 billion. Like. But it's been 9 years, John. Of course, we all know infamously that David Ayer never got to finish his cut. Speaking of David Ayer,
he keeps reminding us every fucking 6 months, even though we want to forget about this crap fest.
Although he has been supportive of James Gunn of late, and when Superman is coming out, and
that got him a lot of flack from the Snyder cultists. So
yeah, I would still love to see the Ayer cut, and I think David Ayer has been kind of vocal recently in recent years, saying, "Look, he understands that James Gunn needs to launch his whole new cinematic universe before he can consider, putting out any past versions of movies that that are now long bygone era of like DCEU that's not coming back." So I understand that you got to be patient. I don't think if you were to ever get a Suicide Squad Ayer cut, that it would happen for at least another 3 or 4 years. Like it has to come out at a time when it's just like a nice gesture and nothing more. Like you don't want to stoke any remaining, kindle of a fire that's out there for the Snyderverse, or at least the DCEU, essentially, because people, there's a lot of people out, not a lot, but the vocal minority, they will take any little bit you give them.
I mean, there's the idea of like COVID and shit like that. Like, there's also that.
Exactly, John. MTG. That's a good point. The fact that Suicide Squad, which was one of the worst rated superhero movies on Rotten Tomatoes, and in general reception wise, was slated for being just not a very good film, made $750 million like in a sleep practically. Like it was a gold rush. We just don't live in that time anymore. The superhero movies have to earn their respect and their money just like everybody else at the box office. So and I remember some of the stuff they left out that was in the air cut was like I thought it would be a lot better the way the movie comes to an end. Some of the fight sequences went different. It was a darker tone, which would
and like the Joker and Harley relationship was properly abusive as it's supposed to be,
and not like romanticized in a lot of ways. Yeah, exactly. It could have made $1 billion, man. That's what I was saying. It could have been the first $1 billion movie in the DCEU before Aquaman came out. So,
yeah.
I don't think we're getting another Suicide Squad from James Gunn or anything of the ilk for quite some time, but I don't know if James Gunn even wants to do that at this point. He's probably just focused on a bunch of other stuff. Hello, Angelica, saying I love to see David Ayer to direct The Authority. You know what? Have we talked about that? Didn't we do a fan casting for The Authority director and David Ayer? I feel like David Ayer has
possibly.
At least once or twice.
I don't remember.
So yeah, exactly. Enterprising. It could have made $1 billion if it was better than it was. But I wouldn't mind seeing David Ayer potentially doing an Authority movie. I think you'd be a good fit. It would depend again on the iteration, because watching Beekeeper again, I keep bringing it up this past weekend, you could see all the David Ayerisms of the movie, and I just don't know if his aesthetic fits what James Gunn is looking for, even though he says like the tone of each movie is going to be different. But James Gunn is also the man who made his own Suicide Squad, so he probably feels more protective
blackjack
of
and hookers.
Yeah. Anyway, Amanda Waller has been demoted for the time being. Yeah, well, I mean, eventually she's gonna get her show, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if that ever comes true or not. But yeah, the script would have to be brilliant, and that's where maybe Ana Nogueira's all tapped out with 5 scripts that she's writing already. So I don't know who else is gonna be writing that script. It seems like it's either James Gunn or Ana Nogueira. Like those are the 2 writers that they've got going. So. Because literally, there's like nothing. There's no other writer that's written anything so far. I wouldn't be surprised if you learn tomorrow that Ana Nogueira is also working on Batman: Brave and the Bold. She's the secret writer for the Batman film as well. So, yeah, exactly. Like the ones they weren't hooked. Oh, you mean? Oh yeah, there was the one scene when he's going to the alleyway. Yeah. And then David Ayer movie, you would definitely see that probably. But anyway, I see what you were trying to do there, Easy. You're trying to point out the hypocrisy. But hey, you know what? It's time to celebrate the birthday of. Well, it's now when we're doing the show live. It's well, I guess if you're on the West Coast, which James Gunn is. So happy birthday, James Gunn! Right as you end your evening, the official Justice Gang page here on Threads posted about it. Happy birthday to the writer, director, and visionary of Superman, James Gunn. Of course, blessed from the beginning. And he's working hard as hell, John, because remember, he got a 5-year contract, if I remember correctly. So he's only a few years away from that, because he's already been in the job for like 2.5 years, right? So it's taken him that long to bring the first theatrical movie out. If the results are not there, if somehow Supergirl craters and then Lanterns is not good, and for whatever reason Peacemaker Season 2 is not as good as the first one, and then from there Clayface flops, and then stuff like that happens, it's not a guarantee that James Gunn will be in the job like 3 or 4 years from now. Like they don't have to renew his contract. But on the day of his birthday, what are you most appreciative of James Gunn taking over the DC studios, the brand new DC studios, and leading DC out into the light from the era of darkness? What are your thoughts?
Even though I think he's on his phone a little bit too much and revealing too much information, I do like how he is very transparent with fans. And how like there's this line between us and him that's like a very small like gap. I feels like I could like tomorrow I can make an Instagram and DM him and ask him a question, and I feel like he would get back to me in a reasonable amount of time. Do you think
that he has an away from his desk message is like, I'm sorry, I'm not available right now, but I'll get back to you.
Like something like that. But like I like that transparency. I love how passionate he is. Like you could tell that this dude loves comic books. He lives and breathes comic books. He loves directing them, talking about them, reading about them. Like I like that's, even though I didn't really like Peacemaker that much. I like listening to the podcast, and we'll be getting into that. But I like listening and watching it because I just like hearing him talk about how much he loves the show and how much he loves working with everyone, and like as well as the behind the scenes stuff in regards to all the stuff that he loves to do. So it's kind of nice, and it's clear that this dude loves what he does, and I hope that he continues doing that, whatever he needs to. So yeah, I just hope he's around for more than just his 5-year contract. I hope it's another 5 years after that, and another 5 years after that. Yes, and then it needs to bleed into the new image. That we need to make a new P-roll and just have the
with Zack Snyder, the new photo in his office. Yeah, we definitely need that. We need like a side by side, like exactly. That's a good idea, actually. But I mean, you guys were pointing out, it's the best reviewed Superman movie in over 40 years. It's certainly the first winning box office DC movie since what was it? I guess it's since 2023, so in 2 years' time. Although you could say him announcing the new DCU kind of killed some of those movies in 2023, but that is beside the point. We're celebrating the birthday of James Gunn. Happy birthday to the co-CEO of DC Studios, helping bring DC, back into into an era where I feel like DC has the better characters, always has, and just the worlds of DC are so much more vibrant and fantastic.
In a way, yeah, kind of. That kind of, yeah. I would say, even though I didn't love it that much.
Curse of the Body Snatchers. They did a better job of it in Peacemaker
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Whatever.
Invasion. Sorry, I'm the horror movie guy. I gotta.
You get it totally, man. As
like
long as
if I made a wrestling error, you would tell me that I fucked up. So
Totally.
Like if I called, I don't know, the Undertaker the Mortician, like. I'm not that stupid, but like,
yeah, I'm just saying that's a little too far. Yeah. Well, I mean, Kevin Feige and James Gunn also are two very different people. Like Kevin Feige has always been a producer. James Gunn is a director. He's a filmmaker. That's why he's going to continue to direct movies in this new universe, and probably even he's going to keep directing Peacemaker and making more of. As long as Peacemaker exists, he will be doing that. Which I think bodes well for John Cena and obviously everybody else on the cast.
Speaking of John
Let
Cena,
me tell you something, brother. I want to see the White
John
Martian
Cena,
at some point. Yeah, anyway, let's move on. Yeah.
We do have
Happy birthday, James Gunn.
Peacemaker talking about.
Yeah, James Gunn posted that. This was hilarious. It's like Eagly and Crypto, who is better, and like he talks about he's like he only poops once or twice in a designated spot. He's just like bad mouthing Crypto for no reason. I don't understand that. The Sundertaker. What? Okay. This was fun. Like, what can Eagly do that a dog can't? He's like, what are you talking about? It's the symbol of idea of life, liberty, and happiness. End effing stop. What powers does Eagly possess? Actually, Eagly does not have powers, but he's the bald eagle from the Muppets. Tenacity, the claws of Santa Claus, the power that Eagly possesses. That's the power. We're besties, so we always bail each other out. That's nice. Okay. Doing the I love the whole hugging gag. I'm so glad that like he gets a selfie.
Take a picture. Take a picture. He's hugging me.
T1000 meanwhile has walked out the garage. Yeah. I mean, James Gunn mentioned in his post, he's forgetting that Crypto has superpowers. He can fly. Although Eagly is pretty lethal, as you see there in the show. He's literally a bird of prey. Unlike, I guess. Well, here's the thing, though. Is Crypto actually a dog? Would you consider him a dog? Is he like a meta dog? What would you call Crypto? Because
technically he's an alien dog.
He's an alien dog. So is he even a dog? Like that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. He almost killed Lex Luthor. So like,
yeah. I don't know if this is a fair comparison here. Yeah.
Although James Gunn did reveal that Eagly was almost a real eagle, but they worked with him for like a day, and then James Gunn was like, nope. I'm fucking killing this eagle, man. We got to get him out of here. It's going to be fully CGI. This is cruel. I can't do this.
Superman is just jealous because he's not as jacked as Peacemaker. You know what? That's probably true. As
Although I
per
will say
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's looking a little skinny there. Looking
Yeah,
not
well,
quite as muscular.
Well, John Cena has been a little leaner these days because he's not packing like an extra 20 pounds like he used to back in the peak of his prime. He's also getting a little bit older. Plus, right now he's promoting Peacemaker while in his WWE run. So he's in his, WWE. It's kind of like LeBron James. He was like, I need less muscle, I need more conditioning, and there's other ways to stay fit once you get older beyond a certain point, right? Tom Brady did that for years. So
gross.
Anyway. Tom Brady is the GOAT. Crypto better, but Eagly was awesome too, said MTG. Yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends on if you're a dog person or an eagle person. I didn't think I was going to say that.
We're both bird person, but like, fucking bird people are weird.
I guess. Hey, think before you speak. I have 5 parakeets and 2 diamond doves. And
I can hear them in the background sometimes. So like,
there you go. You could. I guess I'm the perfect example. You can be a dog and a bird person at the same time. I don't know how I would do with an eagle, but that's maybe a bit too far. Cool. Yeah, it was a dick on Krypton. Yeah. No, boo your team, whatever your team is late easy. The Pats are, come on, man, they're not even good anymore. Speaking of good, Joe John, again, James Gunn working on his birthday. I have seen the Crypto Superdog cartoon show. I don't know. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it's cute.
But this was James Gunn reminding us to watch the podcast, the episode 4, which is on every Monday and Thursday. So this came out, well, now 2 days ago, but yesterday from when we started this, talking about Freddie Stromo was on this episode, talking about, coming into the show much later, after, he replaced Chris Conrad as Vigilante. So I've been keeping up with it as best I can. I'm still finishing last week's episode 3, but I'm getting through it. It's not because it's like bad or anything. I just have a lot to do. So, it's still very, as I was mentioning before, very interesting listen. So,
I love John Cena. I cried when he was.
I appreciate the correction there.
Wrestling on Sunday. SummerSlam.
John Cena, I think he's a really funny actor. Like even some of the worst, even in some of the fucking garbage he has been in, he still is funny. Like I still think he's funny.
And on top of the fact, and all the Marine movies?
Seems like a decent guy. Like
he is a genuinely decent guy. He's actually
unlike The Rock, who's a fucking piece of shit. But
I mean, that's the thing. Most of the wrestlers of his ilk maybe don't have the best personality in real life. John Cena is a genuinely good person. Like he's doing Comic-Cons this year. Speaking of which, next week Liz is on the show on Wednesday and Thursday, and she'll be talking about the Boston Comic-Con. She's going to be there all 3 days, and one of the people Liz is meeting at the Boston Comic-Con is John Cena. So if she can see him, I'll ask her, Liz, like when you met John Cena, did you actually see him, or were you just like holding out your hand and you just saw the ink sort of dry and then you just walked away? Like, was there a floating pen, or did you see him? But that would be the key.
No, you know what she should do? She should take a picture of just her, just like this.
Just like this.
Like, I took a picture with John Cena today.
John Cena. And John Cena's comedic timing, Frankie, is criminally underrated. He's a really good comedic actor. And I think he's probably at this point in time, again, we haven't seen that new movie with The Rock, which might, change the hierarchy of power and the former wrestler become actor debate. But I think while Batista might be the best actor to come out of the 3 right now, I think John Cena is certainly like in the middle, and The Rock probably is 3 under.
I would say, here's the thing. I've said this before.
Exactly. James Gunn does a good job at that.
The Dave Batista is easily the best actor when he's not doing garbage like Stuber and like, crap like that. He's genuinely a great actor. And then John Cena is the funniest. Like he's the best in terms of comedy. He's not like the most amazing actor ever, but he's very funny. Even in crap, he's great. And then The Rock is the star. Like, he's not the best actor. He's just himself and everything. We'll see how the Smashing Machine goes, as you mentioned. But he's like the star. He's the one, he was in all these movies that like brought in a shit ton of money. And, he was, The Rock, The Rock, The Rock. And he's like, oh my God, like Jumanji and Jungle Cruise and all this other shit. It's like, The Rock brings it in. So, but like, he's not exactly a great actor or anything like that.
Yeah, by the way, Ricky Stenicki was not the best movie, but it was, John Cena was doing his bit. No, but I agree.
Here's the thing with like Dave Bautista, he's worked with like Denis Villeneuve, like on Blade Runner 2049 and the Dune movies. It's like that.
Just remember, John. Remember, John. It's not where is Gamora or who is Gamora. I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
And I'm pretty sure that was an ad-libbed line.
It was an ad-lib line, and they're just like, it was like you can see like they were trying to like break out laughing, but they're like, just hold it long enough so we can get it in the movie. So, I know though, like this is what I'm saying. MTG Rock's next movie could completely turn everything upside down, but right now,
I hope so. Like I like it looks good. Like I want it to be good.
Yeah.
Even though The Rock is an asshole, but
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was gonna say, who isn't an asshole? Superman is not an asshole, because the last thing on the show today is, as we've been doing, I think we should even name this segment Superman Box Office Tracker, because that's basically where we are at. And today's main event on DCU Daily is talking about how Superman is set to pass Jurassic World Rebirth as the third highest grossing movie at the domestic box office. That is, of course, US and Canada, North America. Jurassic World, of course, overall has made more money and probably will end up with more money. It crossed 750 million recently worldwide. But when you look at the breakdown, domestically, Superman is doing better. It's currently, I think, a few million behind, but it's set to catch up and easily surpass Jurassic World at the domestic box office. And depending on, Jurassic World comes out on digital in a few weeks' time, maybe Superman can catch up to the number. But I think it's still really optimistic, because most of us are expecting that Superman will end up somewhere between 640 to 680 million, which is, at least 70 million less than where Jurassic World already is. But it's significant, John. Obviously, James Gunn has already talked about multiple times why Superman perhaps isn't doing so well internationally, although it's doing really well in some markets like Brazil, the UK. It's done quite well in a lot of those places like Philippines, like where they did the international the world tour, but it didn't do really well in China at all. But Jurassic World, on the other hand, made like 75 million in China. So every once in a while, a movie does do well in China, and Jurassic World clearly, that's the difference right now in terms of like where maybe Jurassic World finishes versus where Superman's ceiling is. But are you surprised that James Gunn's Superman is set to become a higher grossing movie at the domestic box office than Jurassic World, which is Jurassic World right now overall, I believe, is the third highest grossing movie of the year, like worldwide. But domestically, Superman is set to surpass it. So yeah, there is a couple of caveats, but still, that's an impressive achievement for a first movie in a franchise, versus Jurassic World is like the fourth movie in the Jurassic World franchise, seventh movie overall in the Jurassic franchise. What do you think?
It is a bit surprising, but again, it's not going to hit its worldwide gross. I feel like, Jurassic World is going to keep that track. But, it's very exciting.
It is. I'm going to actually just kind of to show the numbers off. Here we go. This is where we are at with Jurassic World right now as we're doing the show live. $768.037 million. So $768 million total. Of that, 449 comes from abroad. In the international box office, 318, almost 319 of this comes from the domestic box office. Superman is currently only a couple of million behind. It's actually tracking ahead. It's making more money right now on a day-to-day basis than Jurassic World is. So it's sitting at 316 million, around 2.6, 2.7 million lower. But the real difference, of course, is Superman's international number is 234, almost 235 million, where you can see Jurassic World's almost doubled it. And that's why Jurassic World is a higher grossing movie. But if you look at the daily numbers of the box office, this is why they're saying it's going to pass Jurassic World at the box office. The last few days, 3.5 million, 2.6 million, 1.14 million for Jurassic World. When you go for Superman has been making 3.97, 5.4, 4.2. The tracking here, actually, let me see if I can refresh the page, because they should have the August 4th numbers. There we go. 1.8 million. So that on the Monday, Jurassic World did 1.14, Superman did 1.8, and then on the weekend, Superman did, well, let's see, 4 plus 5 plus 4 is like that's roughly 13.9 million, I believe. And Jurassic World came in with a much lower number, like a little less than 10 million. So I remember on the box office weekend, Superman was number 4 at the weekend box office. Jurassic World was number 5, and that's why Superman, guys, is set to surpass Jurassic World Rebirth at the domestic box office, even though, you know, Jurassic World Rebirth has clearly won the battle worldwide. So look at this number is already closer with the refresh. So I'm not surprised by that. By the way, hello, Adrian. I can't do it right now. The voice is not going deep enough. But Superman recently rose from 8 to 7 in the worldwide top 10. It did. Actually, you know what? That's a good idea. Let me see if I can find that art. I don't know, John, if you have that link.
I don't have it linked up. I don't.
Actually, I think I have it from the. We're about to do after this show. We're going to be doing Tier List Tuesday.
A very quick Tier List Tuesday.
Yes, absolutely. But here's the worldwide number, like you were saying, Adrian. So currently, I don't really count Ninja 2, but anyway, Lilo and Stitch at the top of the list. Minecraft, you got Jurassic World Rebirth becoming the 3rd highest grossing movie, and Superman. I mean, technically, it's for me. I think it's number 6 because I don't really count Ninja 2 as the numbers. It's not really, you can't really trust those numbers. Here you go. Everybody's in on it. I'm rooting for Superman to succeed because it's a good old-fashioned movie with a positive theme of individual choices and agency. Look, Adrian summarizes this stuff in the best way imaginable, better than anything I could have said.
Adrian, get on the show. You're a better co-host than I am.
Yeah. You're a better host than I am. I bet you're just good with your words, man. But yeah, Superman has now crossed the total of F1. John, do you think it will catch up to Mission Impossible there? Mission Impossible sitting around 41 million away from it. Ravine, hello, Ravine.
I don't know. I don't
think Weapons is going to do much to Superman's box office because they're just not targeting the same audiences. So good question, but I don't think Weapons is going to be a good competitor for it.
I guess Adrian did not like Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Because they're like, where's Watson? Because his last name's Sherlock. So it's like... Ouch.
Poor guy. All right. But yeah, as far as Weapons goes, it's gonna make money. It's probably gonna do more damage to the box office potential for what's the movie that just Together? Together is probably gonna pull more people away from that movie's potential audience because they're both horror movies. Naked Gun, it might have an effect on that movie's, The Bad Guys 2 potentially, maybe not as much because again, 2 very different audiences for kids. The Bad Guys 2 is a kids movie for the most part. Weapons is not. In general, I think any movie that comes out right now is taking money away from Superman because Superman has been already playing for like 4 or 5 weeks. So 5 weeks at this point. But yeah, Weapons is a horror movie. So yeah, Ninja 2, man. Ninja 2. You are welcome, Adrian. You are welcome. I mean, a lot of you guys, some of you guys say it better than we can in the comments, in the live chat. M2G, yeah, Superman is truly, making its money domestically in the U.S. and Canada. So, yeah, I think personally, to answer the question I was asking you, John, earlier, I think Superman can catch up to Mission Impossible. It's not going to get to How to Train Your Dragon, probably, most likely. We are still expecting potentially, depending on when they put it out on Blu-ray and digital, that it might get that far. It might get to 640. If it does, then it enters the top 5 for the year. But I just it might be too much to ask. So, but it's good to see Superman is in the top 10. I don't think he's going to drop out of the top 10. Obviously, Avatar probably ends up at the very top of the list. But
now we know why.
So there you go. There you go, Adrian. That's perfect. You should come right with us. We should do a collaboration sometime. Anyway, we will have to come up with a good idea for a story. What kind of books do you write, man? Are you doing nonfiction stuff, fiction? Tell us. Do you have any works published? We would love to, hear about it. Do you have any audiobooks? I love audiobooks. Yeah, Ninja 2 is number 1 because supposedly it made like $2 billion. So, although that number right there says 1.89, I think China was reporting 2 billion or something like that. Anyway, We don't believe it because it's not verified the same way every other studio has their numbers be verified.
They've done a lot of stuff for. I'm looking at their works right now. It's Space 1999, Blake 7,
Holy
Doctor
shit!
Who.
Okay, nice.
Damon
That's a
Dark.
good resume right there, man. Okay.
Intrigue. It's like guides and like reviews and stuff
All
like
right.
that. Very Equator Mass. Very interesting.
All right, Adrian Sherlock. That's one hell of a name. And you know what? That's a perfect way of putting it. Superman is the little movie that could, and it keeps on chugging along. It's winning on quality. Ultimately, that's what it's about. And look, this is the first DC movie that's coming out in a new era. It's trying to transition us away from the DCEU with a lot of people. Look, I don't think the DCEU ended up in as bad a place as it ultimately gets talked about in, because all the movies that flopped, 2 of them came out during the pandemic. 4 of them came out in a year when James Gunn had just told everybody that the DCEU is basically dead in the water. So that clearly had an effect on them. But even then, I mean,
it looks like a glorified TV movie. It should have been straight to Disney Plus.
It should have been a Disney Plus movie, yeah. But they didn't do it because they know people are going to go watch it. So.
Lots of British TV. I don't know if you're British or not, but very interesting.
I love my British TV, man. British TV is actually fantastic. I'm going to look up your resume later, Adrian Sherlock, because I'd love to take a look at some of your works. I mean, maybe John can send me the link. You know what? That's also a good point, M2G. We all thought that How to Train Your Dragon would do a little bit better, but I think we're all starting to learn the reality, of the box office today. This is the wrong chart. Where was I earlier? Right here. How to Train Your Dragon, Mission Impossible, Superman, even Jurassic World Rebirth, even Minecraft. Minecraft could have hit $1 billion, didn't hit it. I think the fact is that there's just not as much money at the box office to be made these days. There's more competition from streaming. There's just less money to be made in markets like China. There's fewer people still, like up to 20-25% of the people that are not going to the movies the way they used to before the pandemic. So people's viewing habits have changed because movies come out on streaming faster, because the theatrical release windows for movies is a lot shorter than it used to be. It used to be 90 days or more. Like, Lilo and Stitch had a 124-day window. That used to be standard for a lot of movies. Now it's a rarity. Movies are coming out about, theaters, or at least not being exclusively in theaters. Like, we're going to see Jurassic World come out on streaming this month, and Superman probably not that far behind. That's all, led to these movies just not having as much, runway to make money at the box office. So, Adrian saying, I always liked Superman, but I never loved him before this movie. This one had heart. I think, John, that's pretty much what everybody was saying, right? Like, that seems to be the consensus, and that's really what is allowing Superman to be as successful as it has been. Yep, I have BritBox now, and then PBS is great with the masterpiece.
That's how I watched Doctor Who initially.
Yeah.
The classic series, because it wasn't on Tubi.
I can't believe I waited this long to get that. Man, BritBox is great. Adrian Sherlock, how much will James Gunn's Superman movie run, and how much will it get? That's a good question, Hunter. Maybe Adrian can tell us.
Yeah. I know Kolchak. Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff.
All right, I might pick that up. I think the problem with Universal Pictures is theatrical windows is like 30 days. Warner Brothers is 45. Yes, Angel. Exactly. They're 2 of the worst offenders. So whereas Disney tends to leave movies in theaters a little bit.
I mean, as we were just talking about with Lilo and Stitch, they're getting on streaming September when that shit came out in fucking May.
Exactly. 124 days. That's
around maybe 3.5 months, but around that time.
Exactly. Well, hey, John, I think we have one last thing to get to.
Just a little cute thing to end on is all. That thing. There we go.
Hey, a cute little thing might be understating it, but okay, we'll get to those comments in a second. But John, it looks like Rachel Brosnahan, amongst the many iconic photo shoots that she's done promoting Superman, she just recently recreated one of the iconic looks for Lois Lane from the comics. Yeah. I don't know if you can click into this, but on the left, if you see the text, it looks like something in Russian. Is that even Lois? Is that even Rachel Brosnahan?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, cool. I didn't get the wrong link or anything.
Although she kind of reminds me of Alicia Silverstone and Clueless a little bit.
Yes, definitely. And then if you go to the image on the right, you're seeing literally a panel from the comics come to life.
Michael Lopez. Although the foot looks fucking weird. It looks like too big. even
That
with
looks
the
like
forced
some sort of a
perspective.
Rob Liefeld situation going on.
No, the foot actually looks like somewhat decent. So it's definitely not Rob Liefeld. So,
It's just like it's maybe just it's meant to show how the distortion happens at the edge of a wide angle lens. Maybe.
I know. It just looks weird to me, but
Yeah.
still looks great. Like outside of that.
Yep. All right, it's still going. I'm at work now. Hey, George. Oh, awesome. Well, you know what? We're gonna switch over to Tier List Tuesday in a second. We are ranking the summer blockbusters that include Superman, Fantastic Four. So once this stream ends, you guys can join up in the Tier List Tuesday. All right, Hunter Iggy is having a conversation with Adrian about the box office. Adrian thinks Superman is probably going to reach 600 million. 700. I mean, Adrian, I think you're being a bit optimistic based on all the projections. Nothing beyond short of a miracle, I think, but if it gets past 600 million, it's already profitable, so it's all gravy. But yeah, I mean, and yes, the later areas, the secondary and tertiary, avenues of making money once you're post theatrical with digital distribution, PVOD, SVOD, and all those things, like buying it on digital rentals and then eventually licensing it across the world. That's going to earn Superman a lot of money, and that all goes towards offsetting the money they've spent making the movie and marketing it. So I'm willing to bet the Avatar Fire and Ash might beat these three movies at the box office this year, asked Steven. Yes, Avatar Fire and Ash is going to be the highest grossing movie of the year. There is no doubt about that. I think we can.
I mean, I hope it does well, just so it could beat like Najah 2's fake ass numbers. I mean, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, like, I might not love the Avatar movies all that much, but I still love James Cameron. So,
that's great.
I'll take James Cameron over China's bullshitted numbers that they clearly faked. So, like,
Yep. And Adrian, again, agree with you. I think this is the kind of movie we should be embracing more of in Hollywood in general, just like storytelling that has real heart, humor, excitement, and is a proper crowd pleaser. A movie that works well for the summer. Like, that's what Top Gun Maverick was. That's what Barbie was, at least for me it was. I mean, some people didn't like Barbie, but a lot of people did, clearly.
Deadpool and Wolverine kind of was for a lot of people.
And Superman clearly was that movie of this summer. And it seems like the one pattern amongst all these movies is they're good crowd pleasers. You just have fun and you can go watch these movies again and again. And the rewatchability is a big part of why Superman is so successful. What are you talking about? Oh, you guys are still talking about the feet? Okay. Yeah, I'm sure Tarantino would love that. By the way, the Blu-ray, the date is officially back to being a TBD. So I don't know if that means they pushed it back to like September. I hope they did for Superman.
I hope so.
I do hope so. I mean, Elio was a good movie. It's not the best Pixar movie, but I just think they really did a bad job of marketing it. So,
well, yeah. They had no faith in it.
Superman will be the top superhero movie of the year. Brain will break you. We actually on yesterday's show went into it a lot of detail. So if you want to switch back over to that one, when we talked about Superman's box office, we talked about how it is pretty much at this point, unless a miracle happens for Fantastic Four, Superman will be the highest grossing superhero movie of the year, highest grossing comic book movie of the year, which is the first time that will have happened since The Dark Knight did it for DC back in 2008. That was the last time a Marvel movie was not the highest grossing superhero movie of the year. So yeah, and F1 was also that this summer. Exactly, man. We were eating good. F1 is the summer, the movie of the season. And that's why
we'll rank them to see how they compare. So
exactly. And yeah, the director's commentary, James.
You still have to do that, Dan. And I would like to fall asleep before like 3 a.m. So let's try to go to Tier List Tuesdays.
Let's get into it, shall we? So, okay. With that in mind, we're gonna wrap up the show here, but we're not done yet. So, guys, switch over. I think this stream is set to automatically move you guys over to Tier List Tuesday. So we'll see you there. We are ranking. We are doing a tier list for basically the summer 2025 blockbusters. That includes Superman, Fantastic Four, F1, and so much more. And we'll see you there. But until next time, guys, as James Gunn would like to tell you, as Superman would like to tell you, hey, buddy, eyes up here and look up.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
Hey, buddy, eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing, I'm telling you really I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line, I just go do it, I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it, how am I moving? I'm moving like you wanna shine. Follow my lead, don't listen to lies. I had to put me all in the line, that's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka!
Tier list Tuesday next, everybody.
Honka honka.